It's live. I'm hitting the video 30. I'm doing the 30-second right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is now time to kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You party with the three at the Tuesday treat. We kicking it.
Just kicking.
It's
Just
checking. Hey, it is your Tuesday night delight. And you know who it is. It's your man Hollywood, aka your girlfriend's favorite DJ, and all of that other good stuff. But we chilling today. And of course, that away, that away, we have the most beautiful list, walking thirst trap, Tiff Nicole.
He's a mess. Hey, y'all.
And then that away,
I got your bitch's favorite masseuse.
What you say?
I'm your bitch's favorite masseuse.
Ew. Tell that. Say that one more time, Mr. SNW.
I'm your whore's favorite masseur. And I'm about to pull.
Such a trollop. You're such a fucking trollop, bro.
Hold up. You messing up my intro.
Hair has bone.
I was trying to be great. I was going to let you be great. But yeah, that's right.
We got an in-studio guest. Can y'all see behind Chatty Chad? I know y'all see that ass, though.
I see that ass.
Y'all see that
ass. Don't put your ass down the assing.
Ass.
You look terrible. You did it.
So, welcome to the weekly check-in. And of course, it's me, Hollywood, just Tiff Nicole, my man Ray. We was on the what is it? The 1 yard line, getting ready for brunch and all of that. And we're gonna have a really, really dope show tonight. Dope show. Our guests might make you want to pull some heartstrings and some other stuff. Toddy! Hey!
What up, Tati? Alfred, what's up, sir? What's up, Troy? What's up?
Oh shit, we got more people. I don't even see them yet.
Yeah.
Oh, you get to see them first.
Yeah. Make sure y'all like, share, and follow the conversation.
Right.
Feed, man.
Share it now.
Man.
Right now. Share it right now.
Share it to y'all stream. Share it to y'all stream, please.
Right now. Share it right now.
What it do, kings and queens? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen.
Good mood today, y'all. Denise, you came over and made me happy. Look at you.
Tune in. What's up? What's
that
up?
Pisces
What's
things?
Y'all know how we do every week, man. Again, welcome to the weekly check-in. I am Ray. Tiff to my upright corner. My boy Chad to my bottom. We like Chad said, we do got a good conversation this evening. We got good conversations. What's up, Candace? We got good conversations, man. We all talk about we got a special guest coming on, a foster care coach in the foster care world. You know what I'm saying? Gonna come on.
Yeah. I got something good to add to that today. But
get on the interview.
We'll talk about that later.
We're gonna get, we're gonna have Miss Angel Thomas gonna be on in a little while. You know what I'm saying? To grace her presence with with her background in the foster care world. And
I was going
to the importance of it. No, you good. But first, y'all know how we do, man. We do the what? The weekend review. So y'all know how we do every weekend, man. I mean, every week we always ask, where the fuck did it at? I always ask, how was everyone's weekend been? The weekend review. How's everyone been? The weekend been? And we always start with the beautiful queen first. So I'm gonna go with Tiffany first and foremost.
I had a nice weekend.
You had a nice
I
weekend.
had a nice Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
True, true.
You popping? Oh,
And
that's
that's all. I'm
good.
just gonna leave it at that.
Okay. She hey Chad.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Look, she did.
I remember what I did this weekend.
She did this.
I remember what I did this weekend, y'all.
Look,
She's
when
in
she,
it.
when she remember what she did, she can't talk about it.
my business. That's what I said. I said my business. Okay.
That's what's up.
Okay.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Chad, how was your
On to the
weekend, boss?
next.
What you
My
do this
week-
weekend, man?
My weekend was it was pretty chill. Let's start off with Thursday because it's St. Patrick's Day.
No doubt. We don't celebrate that, but no doubt.
Yeah, our homegirl Dime, she did her St. Patrick's Day game night, so you know.
She got that I got great meat smile. Hey, Tiff. You see what Sarah said? Look at Sarah's comment. She got that I got great meat smile.
And she turning red.
Hey, she red as shit.
Shit, right.
Get out of here. Y'all are full of shit. Goodbye.
Oh, no.
You all full of
No,
red.
no. Bring that ass back, girl. Because the way I got on when Keita was on the show, oh no.
No, hey,
Come back.
yeah, nigga.
Yeah. Because the way
Yeah.
y'all got on me when Keita was
Oh,
on the show, come back. Come back.
That's
Come
fair.
back.
Son.
Come back.
Son.
Hey, Tiff, my man was like this.
It's just my hair. My hair is
My man
making
was like
me look
this.
red. You see what I'm saying? It's my
Hey,
hair.
wait, I was not
It's
that
my
bad. Ray.
hair. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
I was not that bad.
I'm like a
Ray.
chameleon.
Hey, Tiff, my man was like this.
I was not that bad. I was not that bad.
Nigga was shook. You should see him in person, bro.
Oh, man, it's probably even worse. But anyway, what the
So
fuck
anyway-
did you do, Chad?
All right, we're gonna touch on that. We're gonna go to the weekend recap. So Thursday, Dime had the game night. You know what I'm saying? We had
I went to that too.
we had a great time. Everybody was partying, everybody
What's
was
up,
playing the game.
Angel.
Everybody had their green on. Not too many pinches was going on, but it was still a good ass time. I got pinched a couple times because I took my hat off.
Nah, because you like that shit.
Yeah, I do. It was kind of like, hey. But so that was a good night. Everybody had a good time. I was a DJ. We was rocking.
Candace bust your bubble. She said, yes, the fuck you were. You was like this last week.
Hey, Candace, I thought we worked out a mutual agreement where we're gonna work together as friends without throwing each other under the bus. But all right. So Friday, me and Tiff and our homegirl Juju. That's Joanne. Yeah.
Nigga, look, I'm like, who?
Oh, that's
No, that's
my
my
bad.
boo. That's my
That's her
boo.
nickname with me. That's
Okay, I
my
got you.
that's my
Juju.
Juju.
Nah,
My Juju.
we had a great time on Friday.
We had a great time
I
on
forgot.
Friday.
Let's see, I forgot. We had a great time on Friday. Friday was lit. It's
So
pictures
we,
on my page. We had so much fun.
so we went all the way out to Columbia.
Yeah, that's right. I talked to Tiffany that day.
Yeah, we had a good time. We was out at the fire pit. We had good food, like bomb ass,
Oh my god,
spicy ass
best burgers.
hamburger ever.
If it ain't
Ever.
like that, I don't want it. I'm gonna try to recreate it on my own, bruh. And I don't even eat burgers like that. That was the best shit I ever had in my life.
But it was a good time. We took good pictures. And of course, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna throw myself under the bus.
What you do?
I didn't do nothing. It was just the fact that the crush was at the place. Are we gonna leave it at that?
That's why I said you should have seen it in person.
Oh, word?
Yeah, she was there. She was there. She was there. And we're gonna leave it at that. So then we skip over to Saturday and Sunday. Nothing really happened.
What I do?
I think we chilled. And then yeah, that was pretty much it. So yeah, we gonna just leave all that at that. And I did not turn red Friday. Maybe slightly burgundy, but not red.
Friday, I went to the bowling jump.
Go ahead. How was that?
It was good. It was good. You know, I whooped ass. Well, I came in second, but you know,
I saw the
won?
pictures. I saw
Candace
the pictures in your story.
Candace won.
Oh shit, go Candace.
Candace won. Not Candace Holloway, but
No.
I know
Oh,
the
Oh,
other
Candy, which
Candy.
one?
I'm talking about not Candy Smith, the other Candy. I forgot her last name.
Red.
Yeah,
Candy
Candy
Red?
Red won. Yeah, she won. And
Nice.
I was
Nice.
whooping ass. I was whooping ass with one
That's
shoe
still
on.
what's up.
I was whooping ass with a
Candy,
tennis
right?
shoe on,
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
tennis shoe on and a bowling shoe on. You know what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
That was fun though.
real quick on the pause though. So can
Right.
we give a shout out to that Candy for the Rasta pasta that she made at game night? And we gotta rewind the week prior to when she hit that squat for the cup game where you had to squat down and pick it up. Lord
Oh
Jesus.
yeah, that game. Yeah.
Now
That game.
I didn't see the squat,
Yo, I did.
but I did taste the Rasta pasta,
That
and it
Rasta
was
pasta was off the chain.
so here it was so funny because it said spicy. She had spicy written big as day on the joint. Everybody getting it, of course, because the shit looked good. They're like, "Oh my god, it's spicy." I'm like, "Y'all can't read? Like, what the hell?" I just thought that was just so funny. It was very good. It was delicious.
Man, just fuck that food up.
The Rasta pasta. Antonio, what's up, Antonio? We got
What's happening?
a new viewer. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, Erica, what's up, Erica? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good
Hi,
evening.
Erica.
Hey,
Yeah,
Erica.
so that joint was chill Friday. You know what I'm saying? We had a good time, good turnout. Shouts out to OFA for doing a good event. Saturday, daddy time. Saturday and Sunday, rest of the weekend was father duty. You know what I'm saying? Father time with the young one, with the big young one now. We chilled out, looked at TV, you know what I'm saying, did some educational shit, cause you know I ain't fucking around with her. We did that Saturday. Sunday we got up, went to Dave and Buster's, took a couple dollars from me, you know what I'm saying? We played some games. Uh we was able to wear our little matching sneaks. That was cool. That was pretty dope. That was it. That was my weekend in a nutshell, man. And back to work motherfucking Monday.
Sarah said Candace is a gutter ball
Thank
pro.
you, Erica. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah, Candace is she's throwing them gutter balls. What's happening, Red?
Holloway, that is.
Here come the spam.
You goddamn Spanish. What's that? That's Osama.
Osama bin
Go ahead,
Laden.
Bin Laden. Bin Laden, you been happy.
That's when
We
you
made
popping.
it.
I know that's
We
when you
got
popping.
terrorists.
We made it, son. Don't say that. We can't get shut off.
Bin Laden been hiding.
Dear government, it's not us. It's not
It
us.
ain't. It ain't. But yeah, but what we got? What else we got? Oh, the Women's History Month, man. So it is. It is still Women's History Month. Like I said, that started the 1st of March and it goes to the end of March. You know what I'm saying? Basically, what Women's History Month is commemorating and encouraging the study, observation, and celebration and of vital roles of women in American history. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't focusing on those women. We're gonna focus on our local women, you know, our mothers-in-law, sisters-in-laws, girlfriends, best friends, sneaky links if y'all cool with them, you know, daughters, teachers. So shouts out to all the women, uh, even our co-hosts, our beautiful co-hosts, man. We salute
Thank
you.
you.
You know what I'm saying, for Women's History Month, man. Again, you know, give these women their props, man. Give these women their big ups, their hugs, their kisses.
Much
Give them their
love to all our
flowers,
women.
man. You know, much love to them. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all. We thank y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you,
We
co-host.
know we get on y'all motherfucking nerves, but we also
I love
work. You know,
y'all.
we also work them guts too. So you know,
Oh, no, he
it's
didn't.
all love.
This nigga here.
No, he
It's all
didn't.
it's all love.
No, he
So
didn't.
with that being said, we forgot to do it last week, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it now while we got it out there.
Do it.
Um,
Do it like it's 5B days.
Do it. Do
we're gonna give a shout
it.
out, man, to a
Do
special
it.
a special guest, man. She's been in the studio and I think she's been with us, checking us out, shit, since
Damn near day one.
yeah,
Not quite day
if
one,
not
but
quite day
close
one, but
enough.
damn
Yes.
near. You know what I'm saying? Miss Mrs. Holloway, Candace Holloway. Excuse me, we thank you, we thank you. My bad, I pressed the wrong button. Thank you for your endless efforts with chiming in with us. You know what I'm saying? Showing us love. Even joining the podcast with us.
And let's
You know what
not
I'm
forget
saying?
she made history. She
Made
made
history.
show history with the snowball.
Yeah, she
My
made
nigga,
She
that's
made
like just
history.
that
She
is
made
the
show history.
ongoing. That is the weekly check-in, ongoing joke, bruh. She
She
Yeah,
made
made it.
history.
she
She
definitely
made it.
She
she
made
snowball
history.
history.
She made it.
Toya, what's up, Toya? Happy birthday too, babe.
We
Um,
love you, girl. We appreciate you. Like
um,
legit. Thank you for joining every week. For real.
snowball. You know what I'm saying? And we thank you, man. And the history that you did for us. I mean, that I remember is the role that you took on as a stepmother in the kid's life when you was married. And I remember that story that you told us. That whole different road that you had to take on and endure. That in itself, I'm saying, shows a lot about your character. And for that, we definitely humbly appreciate you and
And for
thank you for
me,
that.
woman to
So,
woman, like I love the honesty and the transparency that you share with us every week, and you share with the other viewers. You've
mhm.
gotten on the show, you in the comments, you make us laugh, you make us cry, all of that, and like I said, woman to woman, and telling your story could help somebody.
Mhm.
So appreciate the braveness that you share and the openness that you give to us every week. Love it. Thank
And
you.
and for me, I want to thank you for being the friend that you've become in my life, where we talk about, like I said, we talk about any and everything, and we talk about nothing at all at the same time. Use my homie, and I'm gonna crack for you. Like I told you, I finally cracked and went out of way from my Tito's on Friday and drank Jameson. So next time we hang out, I'm gonna drink some Jameson with you. That's how much I love you.
So we love you, baby. Thank you,
Don't do
man.
that.
We appreciate you.
Why
We
you keep
humbly
trying to make me
appreciate you,
blush and
man.
turn red? That's not important, Chris.
We ain't trying to make you cry tonight, but if you cry, share the tip, man. Share the tip. But on another note, man,
It's
I
deeper
gotta
than
give
rap.
prayer. I gotta give her prayers, man. Prayers to Tanisha, man. Tanisha Thomas, man.
Yes, yes.
She's going through so much right now. If y'all don't know her, if y'all have seen her, just pray for her. She unfortunately she's lost her sister this morning.
She went
Um,
in for surgery
she
and
went
then
in for
come out.
surgery, and
Jesus,
I had
that's
the pleasure
terrible.
of meeting this woman. I met her 2 times, but I had most
Yeah.
recently saw her 2 weeks ago. She made me take 2 shots. You know what I'm saying? A liquor while I was playing pool. So if y'all know her, man, just send her a hug, send her a prayer, man. Condolences to you, to Tanisha. We love you, man. We here for you. Anything you need from us, man, reach out, man. You need to come on here and vent, cry about it, talk about it, or just get whatever you need to get off your mind. We here for you, man. Like we really are. Um, again,
That's
y'all
one.
know her. Y'all know her, man. Send her prayers, please, from me,
That's my
please.
Pisces boo. That's what we call
You
each
know what
other.
I'm saying?
Pisces.
And that's Tiffany's fellow Pisces boo.
We
She
give.
got
I mean,
that
that's
woman got the heart of
terrible.
gold.
She
Like
really
she
does. She's so
got the
sweet.
heart of motherfucking gold. Like I met Tanisha for the first time maybe like 4 years ago. I was still living in Capitol Heights, and she didn't live too far from my mom, and she invited me to her. I think it was her brother's birthday party or her birthday party, and I met her brother. I met Wayne, met her mom, met her sister. Then you know what I'm saying? They like didn't know these people from a can of paint. I'm talking about was more welcoming, more welcoming. I mean, I saw her sister 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they definitely good heart.
Cool, man. I'm talking about cool as shit, man. She was cool. So, I don't want to make nobody cry, make nobody sad. But if y'all cry, y'all feel a little down, it's all good. But just put her in y'all prayers for me, please. So, yeah.
Yeah, I met them a few years back, but my last interaction with them was a couple months ago down in Waldorf at in the cut. They had pulled up for the karaoke joint down there.
Hmm.
I think it was Halloween or something like that.
Hmm.
Her, red light, all of them, they pulled up, and it's nothing but love and red light and all them pull up anyway. So we took shots, showed love, took pictures, and all of that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's just scary just to hear, like, at the beginning of the day, put a prayer up for my sister and she ready going to surgery, and then later on, it's she didn't make it. Like,
And it's crazy because I done seen so many posts. Unfortunately, R&P posts. Like we about to bury our Uncle Friday. He's my favorite uncle on my father's side. My father's youngest brother. We about to bury him on Friday. We don't. I done seen so many RIP posts. People, family, people, mothers, brothers, goddamn heavy. Just lost his daggone. Just buried his little nephew over the weekend. You never know, man. That person next to you, man, to your left, to your right, hug him. Tell him you love him. Tell him you appreciate him. Cause you don't know.
you
You know what I'm
never know.
saying? You don't know, man. And y'all know when it comes to this, when it comes to that, man, it ain't no negotiation. Ain't no motherfucking negotiating. When that man wants you, he calling for you. You know what I'm saying. So, um, this wrap your arms around your loved ones tonight, man. Tomorrow morning, you know, this show them, tell them you love them. That shit go a long way. That shit go a long way in somebody's life. But you never know who need it, who want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Who's craving for it. But they don't. Some people are scared to ask for it, but when they hear them words, they appreciate it. So um, yeah, do that
Like I
for them.
said last week, what was it last week now? At this point, I don't even I've lost track of time, but I think it was last like I had to deal with 6 deaths. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy
It's
man.
crazy how that's going on. And on top of that, with anniversaries of other people's deaths, and now we coming into
Mm-hmm.
April where we about to go into my mom's birthday and her death and so much more. Like I'm kind
Prayers to you, Tati.
I am super glad now that at this point I'm not at my old self where it's like, hey, we about to get half gallons of liquor and we gonna drink them all until it's all gone type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm really glad I'm not at that point no more. It's like, what am I gonna do to honor them and make it better, as opposed to what am I gonna do to get drunk as shit and pass out and numb the pain. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Like that's where my new thought process is, because I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all faithful listeners that know what we'll say, what about 4 or 5 shows ago, I came on this show like really, really fried, drunk, and everything, like way more than normal. And I was just trying to bury my pain, and that was my wake up call. But yeah, like
It be like that sometime, bro.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
we
Yeah,
have our weak moments, but we
no
gotta
doubt.
start embracing our strong moments.
We got to. We got to.
So it's
That's
like
that's important.
that's where I'm at mentally now. Like I feel like my breakthrough is here now. It's like I'm not gonna bury myself in alcohol no more. Let me find out what I'm gonna do more creative
Mm-hmm.
and get things right and get back on point. Um, but that grieve time, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, take it. Don't think jumping back into work is the best thing. It's the
Grieve as
dumbest
long as
thing.
take your time to
Cause
grieve as
it's
long as
the
you can.
dumbest thing. It's the dumbest thing. At least for me. Let me say that. It's the
Mm-hmm.
dumbest thing.
Because
Um,
you suppressing that hurt. People suppressing that
mhm.
hurt. Don't I mean it
And
and,
sometimes
and
you make dumb business decisions. Like let's look at it like this. Like from my perspective, as a business owner at the time, and you got to make decisions that affect everybody that's up under you.
Mhm. Mhm.
But you're still in that grieve process, and also you're handling that grieve process through your vice. As for me, it was alcohol. I was drinking Hennessy, Jameson, anything dark. I was basically drinking it all day, every day. My decisions was not that great, was not that good, and that's how I
Mhm.
ended up basically losing everything.
Mhm.
But like they say, sometimes those material things ain't meant for you to have in the first place.
Mhm.
And my
Mhm.
rebuild, I like my rebuild a lot better. Like I'm in a better, happier place. I don't depend on alcohol. Now I'm not saying I quit. Don't get that twisted. I ain't say I quit. I still love my Tito's and club soda when I go out, but my bill ain't 60 plus no more. Let's say that.
Oh man,
You know what I'm saying? So I'm in a really good place, and
that's what's up, man. You just gotta take one day at a time. I tell
mhm.
everybody that take one,
Your
whatever it is that
process
you're
is
going
your
through.
process. Don't let nobody
Yeah.
judge you on where you're supposed to go, where you're supposed to be at in your grieving
Mhm.
process.
No
Grieve
doubt.
how you grieve, but just slow down and think
Slow down.
smarter.
Yeah.
Think
That's all.
smarter.
That's it. That's all. All right. So Yeah, we'll talk.
Shut up, Toddy. I love
We
you.
know,
Though.
laugh aloud.
My parenting Pro V boo.
Like I told y'all, man, we got a special guest coming through, Miss Angel Thomas. She's a foster parent coach from National Center for Children and Families. She'll be through around 9:15. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pick her brain a little bit.
Yes, I
About her
can't wait.
profession.
I met someone today.
Mm-hmm.
They should be tuning in anyway. That goes really well with what this is talking about. I met some people that's dealing with the foster thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this show is gonna get way better than what we thought.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up. And we got some other conversations too, man. Some spicy
Oh,
Shout out,
spicy!
we got some spicy shit tonight. You know what I'm saying? We got
Hey.
the topic, the title of the show. Tiffany, you gonna give him the title of the show, babe?
She talking right now.
Oh,
So
title of the Chad, give him the title of the show, Chad.
the
Hold
title.
on.
Wait, Tiff coming. Tiff coming.
What you want? What's that? What happened?
Hold on, where is that?
Sorry.
What's the title of the show? Y'all ready?
What show? Wait, what we talking about?
What's
The topic.
of the
Tonight's
show?
topic.
The topic of the show tonight.
Which one? We had a few. Oh, bashing of the sexes. Okay.
We gonna be talking
Right,
about-
think he fancy over there. I know he think he fancy.
We gonna be
You
talking
said crazy as shit.
Ew.
We could be talking about that tonight. You know what I'm saying? The bashes of the sexes. I know y'all want
Instead
to
of the battle of the sexes, this is the motherfucking bashing of the sexes. That's all people do.
You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
but
So,
we're talking, not talking about. We're not. So Tanisha, dear God, because I mean, right? It's a played conversation, but it's not. That's not 100% what we're talking about. We're talking about when the fuck can we stop? Like,
Right.
why do we keep doing it? When can we get over it? Like, that's more so what we're talking about.
Chad, I muted you because Tiffany was echoing. That's all. My bad. Go ahead, Chad. My fault.
Oh no, let Tiff finish.
Nah, that was that. That was that one.
What's up, Lucy? Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good topic, man. It's definitely gonna be a good topic.
Hell yeah! And then when you add on me and Tiff's conversation from this morning,
Oh, for real? But not about peace. Not about the peace. Not even about peace, huh?
we didn't get there.
Oh,
Me and Tiff had a great conversation this morning to lead into this show. Like, it's crazy how, I guess you say, from if you look at it from like social media posts and say how men and women clash with their thoughts and how things are supposed to be, but me and Tiff's conversation shows how we go like that, like pinky wings, good night type shit. But but it's like our conversation is way different than what social media portrays. So I'm thinking tonight's show is gonna show
what's
the
up, Tiff?
difference of what people post on social media as opposed to what
What you see in
What the reality is.
Yeah.
What the reality is of men and women's platonic relationships.
and how conversations.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a platonic friendship between
Bobby, what up? What up? What up?
What up, Bobby?
Hey.
What happening? Hey, babes.
Okay. That's the shit. Well, like I said, we definitely got we done added another topic. God Lord have mercy. Yeah, we got some spiciness tonight.
Oh, I mean, shoot, and we still technically got one more that we haven't even.
Let's talk about peace. Who supplies it and who maintains it?
Woo!
It was an interesting conversation. Now we ain't gonna get into it now. But it was a conversation about, you know what I'm saying, a woman being a man's piece instead of his piece. You know, and me personally, a woman can't be a man's piece, a man can't be a woman's piece. But like I told my team last night, now meeting.
Hold up, let's not do that yet. Let's not do that yet.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that.
Wait, why the palms of my hands lighter than the rest of my body?
Because you're not Hennessy and 2 ice cubes colored. Because
it's three.
Oh, same difference. Okay.
I don't like that. Why Tiffany palms match hers, but mine's don't?
If you're not a piece of
because I don't lie about my complexion.
Someone else. See, that's what I'm talking about. But again, we're gonna talk about that when we talk about that. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Hey, happy birthday, Miss Washington.
Hey, who got a birthday? Who got a birthday?
Happy birthday, Miss Washington. But we're gonna put this on for
pop that shit. Make that nigga buy you something and say you bought that shit. Say you stand up on that butt, run up on the floor. Now that ass poking out, everybody want her. She told a friend, record me while I pop my shit. Friend said, okay, friend.
Make that money, bitch. Happy birthday, baby. Happy birthday to you. What sir say? But see, y'all done start. I can be his peaceful
Oh, my
place,
bad.
but peace
I
comes
got-
from within. That's true. But again, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about the whole fast. We're gonna talk about you.
I went back in my stripper days.
You welcome. You welcome. Angel. Okay. See y'all starting already. We ain't gonna stop right now. All right. Tati said happy birthday. Erica said happy birthday. Toy over there Toy, you probably over there twerking. You got a nice ass too. So I know you over there. I know you was over there twerking for that quick 30
we got
seconds.
nice asses in this joint tonight.
Yeah, on the comments. Yeah, it's a couple of nice asses in there. There's a
Shout
couple
out to the
asses
nice
in here.
asses in the comments.
Yeah, little booties
These
matter
in the
too. Shout out to the LBMs, the little booty matter crew, LBMCs. Shout out to the little booty matter crew, the IBTCs, itty bitty titty committee. Shout out to them too.
As I like to call my CBs, my cute booties, my
cute
LBCs,
booty,
my
a
little
cute booty.
One time, hey, oh, but real quick, sidebar, real quick.
Sidebar. What's up, Ray?
Sidebar. This Sunday, it is going down at Infuse. It is the first ever guys brunch. Yes, going down. It's for us fellas. No, that's not that one. You got the wrong flyer. I'll put it up there. Put the right flyer up there.
That's
You
it.
messed up. No, the other one, the brunch. It's up there in the corner. Put it like main screen.
I don't have the big one. I don't have it on big.
Okay, so we'll do that. Y'all just look up in the corner. Let me redo this. Let me get my voiceover right. This Sunday, it is going down right at Infuse. It is the first ever brunch. It's going down for us fellas. We get to sit down, network, collaborate, talk about everything and get it in. Eat and fellowship and talk about it. So much more. Smoke cigars and do much more. Sip mimosas and do much more. And unfortunately, I found out today there are no bushes that we can fall in. So, fellas, do not walk out the door and fall out in the bushes ready to call your woman because you're going to hit concrete. Just sit down on the chairs outside and call your woman and be like, baby, you up?
So they gonna fall on them hard ass metal tables.
Listen, I fell on them joints before. It hurt. It hurt. But we gonna have a good time. We got mimosas. I'm working on getting the unlimited package going on. We gonna finalize that tomorrow. But
this Sunday, y'all. This Sunday, 12 to 4, Infused Lounge.
I'm gonna get the link and I'm gonna post it. So I'm gonna get the link again so we can post it and everything. But fellas, pull up, show love. This is us. This is our time to shine. And it is not narrated. What's the word? I keep forgetting the word.
Curated. You can say curated. You can say
it's hosted.
Moderated. It's
moderated. That's the word I keep looking for. It is moderated by the beautiful walking thirst trap right up there on top of me, Tiffany Nicole. I'm definitely going from the now. Security ain't gonna let you in.
Let me get my mustache ready so I can blend in. Hey, Tati, go ahead.
Tati's stupid. She said, "Let me get my mustache ready so I can blend in." Girl, get out, get out, girl. Shut up.
I'm gonna kick Tati in her face.
I know that's funny as shit.
Tati's stupid as shit.
But yeah, for real, this is gonna be a good one. And I actually recently just found out that another party did a man's brunch last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know all the details of how theirs went, but it looked good. They had a nice little turnout. I don't know where they went.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm proud of them for doing that too as well. I'm gonna reach out and see if we can all link up for the next one and stuff like that. But where we're going with this on types of brunch, I just want us to sit down and talk and vent as men, because a lot of us, we go through situations where even if we're in relationships where we don't get to speak our piece or everything, like we just shut up, because a lot of men still at this point live through the quote of happy wife, happy life type shit.
Mm-hmm.
And let's break that narrative. Let's talk. What's on your mind? What's going on in your relationship that you can't talk to your woman about, that you want to talk to your woman about? Let's help you get you to that point where you can talk to your woman about, or what's
Mhm.
going on where you can't talk to your kids or your business or whatever. We're all here. You're going to meet people from different walks of life. You never know who's going to touch you, help you, or who you're going to touch or help. And we gonna have a good fucking time. It's at Infuse. So we don't have to be formal. Come
Right.
dressed as you is, because I'm coming in my fly ish only. I'm pretty sure Ray is coming in his SNOU.
Nope.
Um, we gonna have a good time. My man Corey Brim gonna be in there. He's gonna talk about credit, how to work the game and working the money as a business. My man Fats, gun training. He's giving discounts for you to get your licenses and stuff like that. I said I added too many S's, but y'all know
Like,
what the hell I mean. Here I go messing up narcissists and stuff. There I go again. But anyway, it's gonna be a good look, fellas. Pull up this Sunday at Infuse.
Apala.
A pull up.
Apala. We
And I'm
gonna
proud of this. And this is not gonna be the last one. This
nope.
is not the first.
This is
Well,
one
this
of
is the
many.
first, but it's not the last. This is one of many.
One of many.
I gotta.
I sent extended the invite out to Wellington too to come and
Yeah, I
talk
saw
about
that. I saw
CPR
that.
because I know the a lot of men they ain't got their CPR license. It's not certified, so it's
Hmm.
important to have.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a lot of things popping. This thing is kind of like steamrolled more than like I ever expected. It's so many people that's already popping off for the second, but
and ladies,
that's
y'all more than
unimportant.
welcome. Y'all can come through around. Like I said, it's over at 4, so y'all can pull up about 3:30.
Yeah, about 3:30, ladies, y'all can pull up.
Y'all can pull up because they're gonna be looking for y'all.
Yeah, we definitely gonna be looking. I know I'm looking.
They're gonna be looking for y'all. But without further ado, we have our special guest in the building tonight, man, Mrs. Angel Thomas. She's a foster parent coach with National Center for Children and Families. Welcome to the weekly check-in. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey,
Um,
Angel.
Hey,
again, you can introduce yourself more about what you do. Formally introduce yourself, your background. We go from there.
all
Again, we
right.
thank you
So,
for tuning in.
like Ray said, I'm a foster parent coach with the National Center for Children and Families. I started out working in group homes. Well, actually, let me back it all the way up. I have a degree in psychology first and foremost. Um, and that just kind of led me into haphazardly working with teens with mental health issues who live in group homes, residential facilities, and foster care. I started out working at a group home with co-ed boys and girls. And then later on, I ended up running that group home. It was an all girls group home. And again, mental health was just very, very prevalent with the youth that I served. I taught them how to be ladies. I taught them how to etiquette. I taught them how to dress for success. I taught them how to dress for interviews, things like that. All the things that they weren't taught growing up. That's basically what I did. Moving forward, I ended up running an all boys group home. Completely different ball game. Again, mental health was also rampant with them as well. And then I transitioned from that to being a family support worker, where I supervise visitations with children who are in the foster care system who can't be with their parents. I supervise visitations. I've taken kids to therapy. I've taken kids to doctor's appointments, ran them all over creation between Wakanda, Waldorf, and DC. I've done all of that. Currently, I'm a foster parent coach. And basically, what I do there is I'm an advocate for our foster parents, and I teach, train when we have foster parents who may not exactly know what it means to be foster parents. Then the coaches step in, and then we train them on what to do. We give them advice. We listen to them when they vent. We listen to them when there's children in their home that aren't very nice to their home. When they go in there and tear stuff up, we're here. We're there for that. And yeah, so basically that's what I do.
How long have you been doing it?
I've been a coach for 2 years at this point, but
Mhm.
in total, it's been since 2014. I mean, I'm sorry, yeah, 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna get into the nitty gritty of my questions about this. Just because of the fact of I was at Infuse. Shout out to Infuse brunch this Sunday. Um, I actually met a young lady who her and her family should be tuning in if they're not tuned in.
Mhm.
Um, who have foster kids and stuff like that, which brought up a conversation because there's a lot more to it. But I'm gonna start with this one. Um, like with the TV shows and stuff like that. Like I hope you can enlighten me with this one, where the child is with their foster parents, and then all of a sudden, random family comes out of nowhere and wants to take the child and be
Mhm.
with them because, like, oh, that's our family, should be with us.
Mhm.
Um, how does that work out because of the fact that the foster parents done had the child for X amount of years or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and then all of a sudden you want this child back. The child don't even know who you are. All they know is their foster parents.
Right.
Like, how does that work out? Does the child literally, like the TV show like the child gets snatched from them from the
So
foster
that's
parents?
it's not like TV at all,
Uh
and
huh.
if it is, it shouldn't be. My agency is contracted with DC Child and Family Services, so our agency is basically put in place to for checks and balances, pretty much, so to speak.
Hmm.
So again, if it's like that, it really should not be. The goal with foster care is always reunification and it's always kinship
But
care.
no,
So
no,
we
no.
want the children to be with someone who they are familiar with. Yes. Sometimes they're not familiar with the family member. Sometimes it is a family member that comes out of the blue. 9 times out of 10, when a foster family, when a child is placed with a foster family and they've been with that foster family for years, that child's goal would possibly be adoption and not necessarily reunification. So if that child has been with that family for years, I'm not sure why they would even why a person in that family would be an option. Um, but again, the goal is always reunification. If the parents can't do what is stated in the court documents that they need to do, then at some point that plan has to change. Um, but it's not necessarily that the kids will go to a family member that they just don't know. They have to be vetted first. They have to not have any criminal records or criminal background history. They have to have space. They also have to have the proper furniture in their home.
That's what I was
Space.
about to ask too. What
Yeah,
requirements?
they have to have a bed. If they don't have a bed, then they can't go there. So there's a lot of things that have to be put into place before a child is just moved to somewhere else.
So
Okay.
does the child have any type of say or anything? And when this process goes on,
Even
like
after a certain age, once they get older.
like
It would
now
definitely
even not
depend
even when they're
on.
older, I want to ask like if like I know I get it, 18. I mean, well, teenage or whatever,
Mhm.
but like even at
11 and
eight,
10.
11, 10, do
At,
they
Right.
have a do
at a
they have a
certain
say?
age, at a certain age, they do. Um,
What about driving
however,
record? I got you, Candace. Go ahead. I got
yeah,
you.
at a certain age, they do. However, you have to remember that a lot of the reasons why these children are removed from their homes are for various traumatic reasons, or neglect, or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes down to them being um, going back home or going back to another family member, then again that has to be vetted, and the child has to have visitation before they can just go and say, okay, this is where I'm going to
You're gonna stay. Got you.
be.
So you got it's a slow process
It's a
to
slow
engineer.
process. It's
Right.
not something like how you see in TV. We just want to
Right.
yank the child out of here and put them over there.
Mm.
Yeah, that's not
Like
how
So
that
like
Candace said. So what about the driver record?
you do have to have a driving record. You have to provide your driving record. Now, I'm not 100% sure on if you have like points or whatever that the case might be. I think they just want to know that you have a valid driver's license if you're going to be driving the child around, because you will have to drive the
And
child around.
go ahead. You had something to say, Chad? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, so like if a 9-year-old says I don't want to go with Uncle XYZ, who I've never seen before, I want to stay with my foster parents who, let's say, they already put in the paperwork to start the adoption process,
Mhm.
but Uncle XYZ was trying to interrupt it and take the child. How does that work out?
That would definitely be taken into consideration.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not a social worker, so I don't have the
Oh,
exact
that
details
falls
on
under social
that.
worker. Okay.
That would fall under the social worker.
Okay.
Because the social workers go to court and they advocate and they do all of that and they talk to the lawyers and everybody that's involved in the case. So they're the ones that do that. I'm not at that level yet.
Got you. Okay. Okay. But yeah, like I said, I done watched so many TV shows. I grew up watching General Hospital. I'm back watching General Hospital, and they back at adopting kids and taking
Mhm.
kids. So all this falls into place. And like I said, the person I met at Infuse was telling me her story and her friend's story and all of that. So it's like I got questions for days, but I want to let you finish telling what you do
Yeah.
and all that, and I'll just bring in my questions as they seem fit.
I mean, just ask away. Ask away. I'm here for the questions.
Okay, all right. So okay, when it, one of the stories that I was
I'm up there talking and I'm muted. I'm sorry, Chad. Go ahead.
okay, one of the stories I was told tonight, the foster parent, well, I guess well, she done went through the adoption process, done raised the kid done had kids, so now she's a grandparent with the foster kid,
Mm.
and family done came out of nowhere wanting to try to take control, well, not take control, but bring the kid back to them.
The grandkids or the kid?
The
You said
How
kid
old is
and
kids.
the
how old is,
grandkid. I think I'm saying it right. I think I'm saying it right.
how old is
I
How old
don't
is
know
the
the
parent?
ages. I don't know the ages, but I'm guessing it wasn't grown adult age or something like that. If this is where the
so
process is.
there are a lot of teen girls who are in the foster care system who end up pregnant in the foster care system.
Hmm.
And a lot of them, again, have been through a lot of mental health issues, trauma, things like that. Sometimes a lot of them have been through sex trafficking and as well. So at that point, especially when they're like 16, 17 years old, it's not really much you can tell them. Like at that point, it's kind of like, let's just see how we can move you forward to the next step. Um, the whoever is trying to come in and take over, that just sounds like they're just here. And a lot of times that happens because people want to do it for the money. Because as a family member, you become a kinship foster parent and
Hmm.
you get money for that as well. And a lot of times that doesn't work out because they're just doing it for the money. They're not doing it because they want to or their heart is in it. And so that's where you have to go through that whole vetting process and you have to filter out whether or not this is a good idea.
So that part of the movies is kind of true, where people be taking in foster kids just for the check, but like in the movies and stuff like that, where they try like be neglecting them. Like,
Hmm.
oh, perfect example. What was that Bow Wow movie? Like Mike.
Like
Basketball
Mike.
don't like
Like
Mike.
Yep.
Mike.
Like Mike.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
That dude took
shit
in
like
all
that.
them kids,
Hmm.
but was
Yeah,
neglecting
and
them, but using
it
them for the check.
happens. But again, that's where the program like mine, foster parent coach, we are there for checks and balances. If we get foster parents have to have an annual review every year,
I was about to
and
ask you that shit.
if
Ooh,
they have
ooh.
negative marks on their annual review, then they get one of us, and then we have to go
Mm.
through and see, okay, well, what went wrong? What can we train you on? What can we improve? And so that's what we do. And if things don't improve, then you can't be a foster parent anymore. And then there's
So
levels to being a foster parent as well. You can be, just a regular foster parent, but then you can also be a professional foster parent. And for those that don't know, professional foster parents make six figures. So they literally get paid to be foster parents.
So professional foster parents, how many kids do they take in to be considered professional?
Um, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have like an actual magic number. It's basically how much space do you have in your home.
what's up,
So,
Rakid? What's up? What's up?
hey, put.
That's what's up. So, and I was about to ask you because you said certain criteria. Um, is it a certain parenting style that you look for in them if they had already been parents, and if they haven't already been parents or had parental experience? Um, do you actually teach them the parenting style to
So
obtain a foster child?
Not no.
And Bobby saw that comment too right there for you, Angel. FYI.
What else? Community
Do you?
events.
Mm-hmm.
Car Club community contribute. Yes, we do community events, and
What's
hit
up,
me,
Sharice?
inbox me later, Bobby, and we can talk because we do have a lot of events that we do for our foster parents and for the community. Last year we did a Halloween festival or forest fall harvest festival in Rhode Island Avenue. If anybody knows where the old Community Connections used to be on Rhode Island Avenue across from the Rite Aid.
Right there,
Oak
yeah.
Street. Yeah, right
Mhm.
there. That's where we hosted our harvest event. We did a huge Christmas event where we get donations sent in from people like all of these rich people. They donate hundreds and thousands of dollars to us for us to get toys and clothes and suitcases because foster kids need suitcases.
Suitcases.
So yeah,
Suitcase, Nick.
suitcases. We say that because a lot of times our kids are transporting their stuff in bags.
Mm-hmm.
When they go from home to home, they're just transporting stuff in plastic bags, paper bags, whatever they can find. So a lot of times we advocate for people to, if they want to donate something, suitcases is definitely something major that we need. But nevertheless, we do have a whole lot of events. We have a crab feast coming up soon in our foster care banquet. Um, but before, what were we talking about before that? What was the question before that? Criteria. Oh,
Yeah,
um,
criteria.
so we have, in order to become a foster parent, you first have to go through, um, again, like the vetting process, your background checks, and all of that. Once you do that, there's a program that you have to do for a certain period of time. It's called our Pride training. And that training, that's where you learn how to um, deal with different traumas, different experiences, different scenarios. You learn it's a lot, and I don't have my book near me, but it's a really thick binder that you have homework and everything. Like it's all of that. Um, Within your year of service, you have to do about 20 hours of training in addition to the program that you started with. And so every year you have to do at least 20 hours of training. And in those 20 hours of training, again, you're learning about trauma. You're learning about, I created a program, a workshop for our foster parents called the Nurturing Heart Approach. And that's basically a program where you learn how to transform the intense child. So when the child is just acting crazy, like we have, there was a kid who killed the family gecko. We've had kids who, this one girl, she got up on this lady's couch, poured bleach all over her couch. $2,000 worth of furniture. She ruined $2,000 worth of furniture. We have kids that put holes in the walls, write on walls, just completely tear up your house. We have those kind of kids. But those kids are acting out because we don't know. They're not always like that, and they're not like that every day. That kid might have had a visit with their parent earlier that day, and something was triggered, and now, we're in crisis. And so we have to learn how to get those kids out of crisis mode and back down to their base level so that they can function again.
So it's
But if
not
you don't know how, if you don't know how to do that, then that's not going to work out for you. And you're going to be like, come get this kid out of my house. Right. So we have to learn how to do this with these kids.
So like that's when you go into like, let's use the relationship type thing where you don't give up so quick, where you want to make it work. And okay, you see they acting out, but maybe it's because they're not comfortable yet. And you got to help them feel comfortable so that they're okay. And like you said, they might have been triggered from visiting the parent earlier, then they come back here and that's where they want to act out. So now what advice would you give to the foster parent to help them calm the child down, to help them become more comfortable being in this living space as opposed to what they were used to?
So one of the first things I would always suggest when a kid comes to your home is to learn that child. Know what that child does, likes to do, know what the triggers are, know what makes that child happy. Find something in common that you two like to do together so that when that child is in crisis, okay, come on, let's go do this that you love so much. Be aware of not being so rigid, and especially for Ray, I think you brought up the point of if you've raised children already, be aware that not every child is the same. Not every child is going to respond to the same things the same way, and
As your
so
child.
as your child. And so however you raise your kids and now your kids are grown and you feel like, okay, well, this is what I did with my kids when they were little. You can't do that. It's a different day. It's a different time. It's a different age. And that child may be triggered by something that you did with your kid. You know, a lot of older foster parents like to spoil the ride, spare the child, but you can't do that when it comes to foster care. You can't literally put your hands on them. So you have to find more creative ways to do so.
And what do you suggest in those creative ways? Yeah, what do you suggest?
So, you know, there's always timeout, right? But, you know, us, we don't really do timeout very well,
I was about to say.
you know? So again, it's knowing the triggers, it's knowing what to look out for before it happens. Before things happen, you got to catch it. You got to be very proactive, and you have to stay very much on guard, because if not, then you'll find yourself in a position where, okay, I can't deal with this. There's also a lot of support as well, so foster parents don't feel like they have to do it alone. So you also have like behavioral specialists that you can advocate for. You have community support workers that you can advocate for. Community behavioral workers that you can advocate for. Therapy, always therapy, because a lot of our kids aren't in therapy, and or either they were in therapy and refuse to go, or they don't take their medications, and so all of those things have to be put in place. Your social worker, your coaches, like everybody, there's such a huge support system that a lot of our foster parents don't tap into. There's also respite care. So if you have a child that's just really, really, really intense and you need a break, because even as regular parents, we need a break. So if you have a child and you need a break, you can call for respite, and that respite will have that child for the weekend, and you can chill, take a breather, take a break, and not have to worry about it until he or she comes back. So yeah.
What's the difference between adoption and foster care?
Adoption is when it's the whole legal process takes place, and you now have that's your child now. It's that's your baby now. Foster care is a placeholder. Foster care is a place where the child can be safe until they transition to the next place. And that next place could be reunification home. That next place could be a residential facility. Me too, Candace. I need respite care too. That child could go anywhere else. But foster care is the placeholder until they move to their next place.
Okay. Cool.
So what's the so foster care is where they stay till they're 18 and then they gotta basically figure it out on their own after that, right?
No.
Good question, Chad. Yeah. How long is it? Is it an age limit that they keep them?
So they age out at 21.
Oh, I thought it was 18. Okay.
It's 21. They age out at 21. But prior to that, if they're doing the work that they're supposed to do, because sometimes they don't, if they're doing the work that they're supposed to do prior to 21, then they should have a job, somewhere to live. You know, their plan should be in place. A lot of times, if they're in a foster home that's flourishing and they've been there for a while, sometimes they can stay. It just depends on the situation. It really depends on the situation.
So technically,
what is your strategy?
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What is your strategy as a foster care coach?
My strategy?
Yes.
So really what I have a caseload, and my caseload, I talk to them literally every week. Sometimes some of them 2-3 times a week, because they sometimes need me to just be there. And a lot of what I do is just listen. I listen. And then once I listen, I give support. And if they have questions or if they need something, then I have to go to other departments to do so. But that's basically my strategy is listening and giving support. We want to give them we want them to find their own ways of creating solutions to whatever's going on. So we're a big advocate, or we really do push for foster parents to come up with their own solution. If they do come up with their own solution and it's not quite right, then we'll tweak it and we'll do that.
Right.
But
Okay.
other than that, that's basically what I do.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you said you work through the district. You work with DC,
Um,
Maryland, Virginia, or all of them, or one.
well, like I said, my agency is based in Bethesda, but we're
Okay.
contracted with DC Child and Family
Child and
Services.
Family Services.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of our kids in our foster care system come from the DC Child and Family Services. They just so happen to be placed in Maryland homes.
What are some of the personal challenges you have faced in your profession that you may have, let's just say, brought home, for lack of better words, or that you may have faced or encountered?
So like I said, I used to work at group homes. And we've luckily, one of the challenges I didn't have was that the kids really related to me, and I could talk to them on their level. So I was cool with a lot of the kids that I worked with, but my coworkers weren't so much a lot of times. And a lot of times the kids would go off. Like I've seen a child, a 13-year-old girl walk up to another 13-year-old girl and yank her hair out of her scalp. I've seen another girl, because we took her cigarettes from her room, she got upset. She was standing outside and she was banging her head on the window.
On the window.
Yeah. And punching her hand. She broke her hand because she was punching
the
brick.
wall. Oh.
I've heard stories.
Because I took a cig.
Because we took her cigarettes. She was not.
Wow.
Yeah, like it was bad. Yeah. So yeah, I've heard stories where one of our youth, and this was in a previous place that I worked, his mom chained him to a chair because she found out he was gay.
Chained him to a chair?
Yes. And beat him.
She ought to have her motherfucking ass. Well, she ought to have her ass beat.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
And so I've experienced a lot of things, and a lot of those stories come from my earlier, and I said 2014 earlier, but I've actually been in this field since 2004. And so a lot of these stories have come from my earlier years working in the group homes, and that's what fueled me to do what I do.
You went to school for it?
Yeah, I have a psych degree.
Oh, okay.
A degree in psychology. And my goal is to be a trauma therapist one day. So, yeah. There's so much trauma that we don't deal with as a people, especially as Black people. We don't deal with our trauma, and that's really important because we can't heal if we don't deal with our trauma.
So what now? When it comes to the kids, I know you had a question, Chad. My bad. When it comes to the kids and their trauma, going into that new household, what are the best ways that you can, or the best resources should be provided to the adults facing, facing the kid and his trauma that the kid still is going to have for a long time?
So, and this doesn't always happen, but me on my soapbox, this is what I like to see. A lot of times there has to be communication with the foster parent and the people on that child's team, the social worker, the lawyer, the doctors, everybody, so that the foster parent can be abreast of what is going on with this child. Right. Because you can't just drop a child off in someone's home and then that child goes off and starts acting crazy and they don't know why.
And they can already put his or her ass back out.
Yeah, you know, like
Mhm.
I need to know why this child is like this.
Mhm.
And so what we would like to see is for the foster parent to have all the details first.
Mhm.
Now, oftentimes the foster parent doesn't have all the details first. And sometimes that can't happen because it's an immediate removal. Something just happened, this kid got to go, and now we got to find a place for this
For
child to
the
stay for
kid.
the night.
Right.
And then eventually that foster parent will get the details trickled in, but that doesn't always happen.
Mm.
So with that being said, as a foster parent coach, my first thing when I first contact a parent with a new placement, what do you know? And whatever that foster parent doesn't know, then my job is to now go to the social worker and say, hey, what's going on? What is the child issues? What's going on? So we can have this foster parent be more on point with what she needs to do with this child.
Mhm. Okay.
All right. So
That's what's
what you
up.
saying? That y'all work out of well, y'all work within DC, the district. With the gentrification going on, does that change the process of where you send the kids and everything like that when it comes up dealing with gentrification and the way
And the
things are
families.
changing in the district?
Gentrification really doesn't have much to do with what I do because all of our youth are placed in Maryland homes. So
Oh,
none
okay.
of
I thought
them
you meant
none of
place
them
DC.
are in DC.
DC
And
Okay.
so
homes. Right.
Okay.
yeah, they're all in Maryland homes. The only issue with gentrification is when we have to do visitations, which was my former job, not my current job.
Mm-hmm.
When we have to do visitations downtown and trying to find parking and things like that. That's the only issue with gentrification. Like parking is something different. So yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
So, when these families they do all families, if they get the okay to be a foster parent, are all foster parents paid as well by the state or the city that
Yes,
they.
if you're a foster parent, you do get paid to be a foster parent.
Okay.
Yeah, and it varies. Again, like I said, you get paid to be a foster parent, but you also get it's like a stipend,
A
and
stipend.
I'm not sure exactly how much that stipend is.
Okay.
Um, but you get a stipend, and you also get the
Is it
allowance and clothing allowance for the child,
mm,
and that has to be spent on the child.
on the child? Is it so do you well do you know do you know if the stipend is age based as far as the amount the stipend
No,
will be? You don't know?
it's not age based,
Mm-hmm.
but it is based on the intensity of the child. So if you have a child who doesn't really create a whole lot of issues or a whole lot of problems,
Mm-hmm.
they're just then it's a certain rate. But if that child has severe mental illness or a disability, then that rate is different.
Okay. Okay.
And then
Because you're
you have
dealing with more, right?
yeah, because you're dealing with
Okay.
more.
Right.
So we have a foster parent who only deals with medically fragile children
Mm-hmm.
in her home. So those are the children who have are on ventilators. One of the children in her home had a trach in his throat, baby infant.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so based off of that, that's the only difference in pay. And then you have the professional foster parents who make six figures.
And of course, her the lady who took in the kids with the medical situations, did she have some type of different training or
Yes, they have different trainings. She also has nurses in her house 24/7, um, and goes back and forth to the hospital as needed. And she's an older lady, but she's fabulous. I love her. Yeah, they do get paid differently, and they do have a whole lot of training that they have to go through just to do so.
mm,
Okay. This reminds me of now I gotta make sure my memory's good because I was
little?
little. My grandmother used to work for well, my actual grandmother that I only known. She worked for I guess it was a foster home of kids, but most of them was like special needs.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes she had something that she would bring home on the weekends. So I got to interact with them and stuff like that. But of course, being young, like 6, 7, 8 or whatever, I didn't know exactly what was going on. I'm just like, my grandmother was bringing home these random ass kids and taking away from my spoiledness. but but I guess what I'm trying to ask is, so what my grandmother was doing by bringing them home on the weekends, that was like just some bonus extra caring because she cared about it type stuff
Mhm.
and wasn't part of her job.
Yeah,
Should I say
yeah,
okay?
yeah, absolutely. Sometimes in this field, because of the severity of what's going on, you go above and beyond in what you do. Again, working at the group homes, because, and I talk about that period of my life because it was so influential for me,
Mhm.
um, as well as the children that I was with. Because even to this day, and um, I have a few of them that I still keep in contact with. Those are my girls. They're in their early 30s at this point, so that just made me feel really old. But either way, they are survivors. They are survivors, and they tell me all the time, I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for you. And that's what makes me feel really, really good. So again,
Mhm.
like your grandmother, when we do this work, you find the time to go above and beyond. Especially for those ones that you see really, really trying and they just need
Mhm.
a little help.
And Lulu up.
Hmm.
You see that question Bobby got for you? He said, do they meet certain do they have to meet certain qualifications based on a child's needs, or is it based off of circumstances?
Circumstances. It's really based on if you have a bed, to be honest with you. Um, because we really, foster parents are a huge need. Um, we have more children than we have foster parents. And so a lot of times it's really just based off of who has a bed open.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Tati, I think she's just
Yeah.
talking out loud, typing out loud. I wonder if it was a hospital with 6 children. I used to work there. And again, that sounds more like a group home situation.
That
Um,
did sound like a group home situation.
so what's is it a lot of the black families that's taking on foster care? Is that in the high demand? Is that needed, or
A,
what's the take
a
on that?
lot a lot of
Damn,
our
that's a good question.
families a lot of our families are black families
Okay.
that are foster parents. We have a huge array of races and things like that, but a lot of our parents are black.
Okay.
Um, but again, race doesn't even matter. Like we just need foster parents.
Right. And Bobby said, now with that being said, I think we answered this earlier, but how are the foster parents evaluated? Oh,
So
we didn't answer that.
they have an
Right.
annual review every year, and I can't really show you what it looks like, but there's like a huge form that they have questions they have to go through every year. Um, and whatever their score is, if they get low scores, then they get a coach, and we have to evaluate what was wrong, what
Mm-hmm.
happened,
Hmm.
and correct that, and we have to put forth a plan of action. If that doesn't work, if it doesn't work out, then that foster parent is no longer a foster parent.
Mm.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about being a foster parent?
Have I thought about being a foster parent?
Mm-hmm.
It briefly.
Mm-hmm.
I have two boys. I wanted a girl, so I thought about it briefly because I wanted a girl. But my kids are 16 and almost 12, and I just can't imagine adding one more in my life.
Like, like wouldn't that make it? I mean, not to say it this way, but wouldn't that make it more difficult for you to bring in a foster child with what you do?
Yeah,
Good
well,
question. Good question, Jay.
I wouldn't even be able to at this point. So yes, you're right. It would be I wouldn't be able to because it would be a conflict of interest
Confident
because
entrance
Hmm.
of where I
because of your
work. So I
profession.
wouldn't even be able to.
Good shit,
But if
Jay.
I transition to somewhere else, no. No.
Okay. Um. Now I keep on hearing you say that foster parents are needed. So with that being said, um, if you gonna enlighten us with some information and we can get it. I'm gonna try to type it up as quick as I can, or you could just post it in the comments. About
So
how to reach out to for
if
people
you
to. even seek entrance?
If anyone's interested, just inbox me. Just reach out to me. I can give you details um, from there if anyone is interested.
Mhm. And I heard thought I heard you say earlier. You said professional foster parents. What's the difference?
Professional foster parents don't. Um, foster parents don't work. Their job is to be a foster parent 24/7.
And you
So
said
that
6 figures.
six figures. So what their job is, you first
Yeesh.
of all, you have to have the space to do so.
Of
Second
course.
of all, you would need a vehicle because again, your job is to be the foster parent 24/7. That means taking them to school, picking them up from school, taking them to appointments, therapy, visitations, whatever the case might be. You're needed 24/7. Especially if you have kids who have mental illnesses or if you have kids that have disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
You're 24/7. That's your job. So yes, they make six figures.
Mm-hmm. Now, non-professional foster parents, they don't have to have the kid 7 days a week all the time, or what is the kid
No,
with someone else?
they
Or
do have the kid all the time, 24/7. Yes, but they also work. So
oh,
they're
okay,
the kid that they're with has
other
is
care.
either in school or daycare
Sure.
or whatever.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Show you
Mhm.
what. Show you what. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So non-professional is basically like you're raising them as your child, and you go about your
You got your 9 to 5.
everyday life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're a
yeah.
professional. You're a professional. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, professional
A
is
professional.
this is your job and your life at the same time.
at the
Yeah.
same time.
Got
And you might only have this kid for like a week or two, a month, 2-3 months,
Well, she won't. Shit. Let's see. Let's talk about that.
and then the kid will transition to somewhere else. But you might also have more than one child in your home at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But you
So
having them in there for a week or 2 or 3 weeks, like
it's
don't
that's
that
and when I say a week or 2-3 weeks, it's circumstantial. So you
right.
might have a kid that comes in your home today, and they might do something crazy while out, like I don't
Right.
know,
Okay.
and then the next thing you know, they're gone.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and that happens a lot with our teens.
Right. Okay. Now, have you ever encountered uh a situation with parents whereas though they were traumatized about a situation or a kid that they really wanted to build with and show care for, whereas it didn't work out, or not even in that case, but just a trauma
Yeah,
with parents.
yeah, I've had that experience where there was a teen, and the foster parents really wanted to bond with this child. I think he was about 15, almost 16. The foster parent even said, "We were getting ready to buy you a car, but you can't act right. Like you can't."
Fuck that money up.
Yeah, like we have foster parents who are ready to give children the world, like literally the world,
But
and
they're
all
so
they got to do,
traumatized.
but they so traumatized and stuck in what they've been through that
Right.
they don't know that this is a good place for me. This is a good
But
fit for me, and they tend to self sabotage.
and see, they probably know that, but they don't. They so used to not having that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They don't know how to accept that. You feel
right,
what I'm saying?
right. That's
Because
exactly what happens. They don't know how to accept this love that they're being given because they
mhm.
don't know what it looks like. It looks
Now
strange to them.
as you being that coach, what when you notice that, and I'm sure you have, what do you do? What is the that you can provide to try to convince that kid, okay, this is a good fit, or the parent, you know what I'm saying? Is it
So
something that you could do?
I don't talk directly to the children. I,
Okay.
I strictly just work with the foster parents. And
Oh,
so with
okay.
the foster parent, I say to them, it takes time and patience, first of all. A lot of time and a lot of patience. You have to let that kid feel comfortable in your home. So
Mm-hmm.
if you, my best advice is if you have access to the child before they get to your home, find out their likes, dislikes. What's your favorite color? What's if it's a younger child, a teddy
Mm-hmm.
bear, stuffed animal, something that makes them feel like, okay, this might be a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes they don't know what safe places look like.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, this may be a safe place. So again, if you have access first before they come to your home,
Definitely find out what they like, what their likes and dislikes are. Um, in addition to that, again, talking to the social worker, talking to everyone on their team to find out where they are, because you have to meet them where they are. You can't go in blind thinking that, okay, well, I'm getting ready to get this kid and this is the way it's going to be. A lot of times parents like to write out their rules on the wall, but before doing so, you want to sit down and have a conversation with the child and say, okay, these are my expectations. What are yours? What are your expectations for me? Because a lot of times we don't, as adults, we think, okay, we're adults. What I say goes. This is what I said, what I said. But we don't take into consideration that that child might have came from a place that they didn't have a voice. Or that child might have came from a place where it was pure chaos. And so I need to know what your expectations are for me, as well as my expectations for you.
Like some of these things could be ran like a military type thing, like lights out at 8. That's it. No discussion, no nothing. No video games past this or
and for
something like that.
example,
Yeah.
that you want the lights out at 9:00, but this child is afraid of the dark and you don't even know that.
How do you right?
Something happened to this child in the dark that you don't know, but you're so adamant about turning the lights off in the dark, and then you want to know why he wows out at bedtime every night. These are the little things that people don't think about. There was a child who every time it was bath time, completely freak out. But this child was abused with water. So you have to kind of understand like what's going on
Learn
with
those
this
triggers.
child or what these triggers are. Yeah.
How was the child abused with water though? Like getting beat or something like what?
Like
I mean, they could be dipped in the water. They could do
Oh yeah,
waterboarding.
true. I
Like
didn't think about that.
waterboarding.
so
So, but
many
this
different
particular
things.
child would get in the bathtub and be beaten in the bathtub, and
Whoa.
so
Or get beaten and thrown in the bathtub with all the
yeah,
welts and the pain and let that water hit.
yeah,
Tiffany, your titties.
Shut
are
up. I'm
titties.
sorry. I had to go in my room for a second. I apologize, y'all.
so yeah,
Oh,
like
cover my boobs.
that's what we have to be aware of.
I was listening, just FYI. I just, since I didn't have my camera on, I wasn't chiming in, but I was listening.
So
Did you have any questions? Tiff, did you have any questions? She mustn't have no questions. Go ahead, Chad.
So basically what it goes on into saying, like, when these kids act out in their foster homes or whatever, it has to go back and the research has to be done of what their triggers are and what they've been through before the parents freak out and be like, this kid is bad or I can't deal with this child because they weren't vetted before to know what the child had actually
And so foster parents have to be aware too that if you refuse a child too many times, or if you have a child in your home and you keep kicking kids out of your house, you're not going to be a foster parent much longer, because that just means that you're not equipped to deal with what's going on. And that's important. People don't think about that. They just think, oh, if I get this kid and he acts up, then I can just, have him removed. But that's a mark on you. That's a strike.
So they think they looking at it like as a revolving door, like, oh, I don't like this kid. Give me another one.
Yeah. So when people do that, we filter them out real quick. Like no.
Can you personally, like, even though you probably don't do the interviewing process to make the determination that they go in the homes, but do you notice a parents that's full of shit in reverse to parents that's really for the child's best interest in reverse to their pockets? Or
I haven't had the experience of dealing with a foster parent who was just kind of full of shit. Like I haven't had that experience, knock on wood. But I do, like, certain things do like raise my antennas, like, wait a minute, I don't know. I don't know here, like how to, and so when that happens, then I take it to my team and we discuss it together as a collaborative. to say, okay, this is what's the next step. This is what we should do with this foster parent. Patience. Thank you, Erica. I listen. It's hard, girl. It's hard some days. Some days I be here stressed out, but but for the most part, this is my passion. This is what I do. I've been doing it for so long, and this is what I do.
What are
That was
your
my next question. Like what kind of toll? Because this show we all talk about our mental health and everything.
Mhm.
What toll does it take on you personally,
right?
mentally, to do what you do every day?
And how do
Um,
you cope, and how do you deal with that?
over the years, especially when I was working in the group homes, that was a lot. And then as a family support worker, that was a lot as well. And that was before this position. So I'll talk about that first. As a family support worker, I would come across biological parents, not just the foster parents, but the biological parents as well. The biological parents are a whole different breed because, first of all, they're pissed off because we have their child. And everything that we're doing is wrong because we have their child. One of the cases that I had that really tugged at my heartstrings was a parent who had 3 children. They were up for adoption, but we kept up with visitation. And she was a heavy drug user.
Mm.
And while we were doing our visitations, and I did visitations with them for a whole year, every week for a year, for 2 hours. And it got to the point where she would relapse and come back. She would relapse and come back. And every time she would relapse, it would break my heart because she loved her kids so much.
Mhm.
But she knew that they were best with the foster parent they were with. And that foster parent actually adopted those kids. She passed away last year from a drug overdose. And that broke my heart. And every time I see her kids, like they love me to death. Like they run up to me and hug me and everything. But they're 5, 7, and 10 now. And yeah, that was a hard one. That was a hard one to deal with. It was a hard pill to swallow.
Sure. Erica said, I understand. I love kids. I thought about adopting or being a foster parent my entire adult life, but just didn't know if I would be able to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I worked at a level 3 group home in college. It's not a joke or for the week.
It sure ain't.
Man. We got a
It
long
sure ain't.
comment. I have to say, yeah, my experience as a peds nurse, as a pediatric nurse, has me on the fence. I definitely couldn't anytime soon, but in the future, I don't know what I would think about it, and I would definitely have to drop my hours at work because I feel like that child would need a lot of attention.
And they do need a lot of attention. Some children have separation anxiety. And so the minute you leave them, they are crying and upset because of their separation anxiety. A lot of them need
What's up,
full
Kamisha?
So yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's a tough job, man, a tough thing. But and you said the best way for people to apply or seek
If
interest
you
in doing it is.
if you need information, just inbox me and I will get back to you about everything. My team works with the team that does recruiting and training. So that's my team, recruiting, training, and coaches. So I can put you directly in touch with the person who does training or recruitment.
Okay. Right.
So real quick, I don't think we touched on it. So if I missed it, I apologize. What made you want to go into this field? Because this seems like something that's real
I
heavy mental and
actually
emotional to be a part of.
Good question.
did not. So in college, I wanted to be a forensic psychologist.
Okay, that's a big left turn.
Big left turn.
Okay.
You ain't chose me.
Okay, I didn't choose this life. This life chose me.
chose
So
me.
after college, I didn't have worked as a secretary at my church. And if you know me out there, don't feel shocked. But I was a secretary at my church. And
Lord Jesus.
Shut up, Ray. Anyway, so I I sent my resume out to like a whole bunch of places because I was just trying to get a better job and something in the mental health field because I just graduated with a psych degree. And I'm sitting there one day and I got a phone call from Venice Behavioral Health and they said, we want to come in for an interview. We have a job at a group home. I said, okay, cool. I did the interview, and when I left the interview, before I could even make it home, they called me for a second interview. And that's how I ended up at the group home. When I started there, I was such a natural at it. My first day, and they told me, like, they like to tell you things for shock value. I said, okay, cool. So one of the girls said, hi, my name is so-and-so. I have a dildo in my room. Okay, what you want me to do about it? Cool. Like they would say things to shock me, to test me and see where I was. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I think I was about 24 at the time. So I was young too. Like whatever, sis, go off, do you. And so I was, again, such a natural at it. I like to tell people, if you can't share your story with people, then what's the point? What's the point? Everything that I've been through in my life, everything that I've witnessed, experienced, the traumas that I've experienced. If I can share that with someone and they can see where I am today and say, okay, well, if she did it, I can do it too, then by all means. But one of the things that they tell you when you're working with children in group home is don't tell your story. And I felt like that was just stupid. And so because they don't want you to be so personal. They don't want you to be so personal with them. And so I said,
wouldn't that be a good thing? I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm just.
Yeah, you would think that's a good thing. That should be a good thing, right? Right. And so, and within like 6 months, my supervisor came to me and he said, so, you're kind of personal with the children, but it's a nurturing thing with you. Like I'm a natural nurturer. That's just what I am. And he said, it's just so nurturing with you. And we don't want you to do that, but it's working. Yeah, I know. And so that's just what it's just been my passion ever since. And that's how I got here.
They are afraid that child will take advantage of that.
Wouldn't that go back to, like I was saying with my grandmother, her bringing kids home on the weekend? Wouldn't that have been in the same scope of what you were doing?
She probably wasn't supposed to do that. But back then it was probably a different time, a different era. People really probably didn't think about that then. Mm-hmm. But you're really not supposed to do that.
Got you. Okay.
If you utilize Clubhouse, I would love for you to network with a good group of people.
I don't know what Clubhouse is, but let's talk.
It's that app.
Bobby get at you.
It's a dope app to use, so that would be good it's a good platform to share with what we're talking about. It's definitely good.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, that's how I got here.
And you said you wanted to do forensics.
Right. That's like
because so anybody remember that show? It was Stupid Things That Criminals Do or something like that. So I just wanted to know why criminals think the way they do. Mm-hmm. Like, why do you think the way you do? That's always fascinated me. So, and that's why I wanted to do forensic psychology. And it didn't quite work out so well. And I ended up here.
I'm not calling the kids criminals, but that forensic science background, did that kind of help you understand the kids a little bit more and better?
It definitely
you don't keep calling them kids criminals.
I mean, you'd be surprised though. In working in the group homes, some of them have done some criminal activities where they ended up going to jail. Mm-hmm. So
dang.
It happens.
And you used to count the church money.
I did.
You used to count the church money.
Listen. Yes. Yes.
Let me see. Oh my! I used to want to be a forensic scientist, but I'm terrified of blood and I'm a fainter.
Yep, that was very
you
true.
Hold on, can we take a commercial break real quick
Yep.
so we can jump, so we can talk about Candace real quick? How in the hell do you say you want to
used
be a
count the
forensic,
church's money.
but you terrified of blood? Like I'm terrified of blood, so I know a
Tip terrified
forensic
of
doctor,
bones.
anything was nowhere in my scope. How the hell was
Yeah.
a forensic scientist in your scope and you're terrified of blood, Candace?
And you're a fainter.
And you're a fainter
As soon as you see that motherfucking
and a
body,
track star. And a track star.
see that's different. See, you ain't
It
don't
still
add that to
balances out.
don't add that to the forensics. No.
It's blood squirting out his chest. I'm gone. Pew.
Oh my god, that's crazy. But that's what's up, man. We definitely appreciate you, man, for
Definitely.
coming on, man,
You're welcome.
and giving us some insight. Like I said, on foster care. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all have interest in being a foster parent, she's available for y'all to reach out to. Get that training,
Just
man. Get the
inbox me
certification. Inbox
and
her.
connect you to who you need to be with.
What you within the next, let's say 3-4 years from now, what you want to do with this? What you want to do with that foster care? You trying to have your own business with it or
So again, I want to be a trauma therapist. So
trauma
I
therapy?
I really want to work with, or and not even not just a trauma therapist, just a family and adolescent therapist that deals with trauma. Um, because I just really feel like that's something that our community really, really needs, and we just have to do it. Like we just have to be more aware of our mental health, especially men's mental health and children's mental health, because a lot of times people don't think about children and mental health and how they're dealing with stuff that we see every day on the news. Someone's getting shot down the street. Somebody is getting robbed, carjacked, whatever. These are the things that we see every day, and these people, these kids get to experience this every day, and like it's normal, like it's natural, and that's traumatic. That's traumatic. Systemic racism, that's traumatic. All of the things that we go through, even with this whole COVID situation, that's traumatic. And so a lot of times we don't think that our kids are even being affected by it. They are. They
That's
absolutely.
so yeah. With that, thank you. With that being said, how has COVID affected the foster care world, or as far
Um,
as recruiting?
so a lot of everything that we do has been virtual for the last 2 years, which makes it extremely hard because especially with our older foster parents and our older people, they don't really know how to use Zoom. They don't know how to use WebEx and none of this stuff. And we had to take the time to teach people how to do that, how to log in,
Really, a
how
lot
to
of young people don't know how to use Zoom either.
yeah, and a lot of the visitations that have to happen had to be virtual. So now the foster parent is opening their home to the bio parent virtually at this point because they can't go. The kids can't go to a facility to do their visit.
But does that give the bad foster parents a one up on y'all where they can kind of cover up their
No,
wrongdoings a little bit more?
nope,
Because
nope.
when y'all gotta go out, y'all still gotta go out, right? If
Because
y'all
if we
gotta go
still
out,
gotta go, we still gotta roll. If we gotta
yeah,
ride, we gotta ride.
you gotta
So
take that
Y'all
motherfucker.
gangsters.
if we gotta ride, we gotta
Hey,
ride.
Chad. Yeah, hey,
Look,
y'all ready to
it's
strap up,
Bloods,
cuz?
Crips, and them.
Y'all ready to
Listen,
strap up, cuz? Foster life, cuz.
But they can break in your door.
I don't. That's one thing that I pride myself on in my own personal work. I can't speak for everyone, but I speak for myself. Like, right is right, wrong is wrong, and fair is fair.
So what
If
gives
it
y'all?
don't,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
if it don't look right, I'm gonna say something about it. Period. Like, if it ain't right, I'm gonna say something about it. I will quickly call my supervisor. Like, listen, something ain't right. We got to deal with the situation.
So what are the signs you pick up on Zoom that make you go, it's not right? You know what I'm saying?
Well, most of it is tone, how they're talking to the child, what they're doing in the background, the experience, like whatever I can see visually. If things don't look right,
Have you seen some wild shit?
like Nico blink twice if you ain't safe type shit, or
I have not. I have not. And I have
That's
not
dumb.
had that experience where I just was like, mm-mm.
so like, what's the difference? Like, if
Hey
the
Chad, I can't be like.
so like in the background, like I mean, I'm asked like this. It's gonna sound funny, but legit question though. So like, you see the kid in the background, like your red flag or your radar rolls up. Is it because like you see the child acting up? Like, is the little child like throwing Legos at somebody's head, or you think like, is he just being a kid,
He's just being a
or is it
kid. But like
cry for help, or like
a lot of
what
kids,
is it that you see the kid doing in the background that makes you say, flag, let me pay attention, as opposed to it's the kid being a kid?
Hey Chad, he grabbed that motherfucking frying pan. He grabbed that frying pan.
a lot of them have ADHD or like
man.
just really hyperactive, So
Oh boy.
if they're doing that in the background, they're just being them. Like
Oh,
unless there's
my
some
up.
sort of like yelling or screaming or hitting or like aggressive behavior,
Mhm.
there's that. I mean, that's just normal stuff.
Got you.
Yes, Tiff.
Their mouth can help. Oh man. All right. Do you teach strategies on how to deal with teenage
Okay, here we go. I was muted. Okay. Tricky question. I know the system is like overwhelmed.
Very much so.
What are improvements maybe that have been made to the vetting process, or like, I know there will always be things that slip through the cracks, but have there been maybe like bills or laws or systems that make it easier for you all to vet, or do you get kind of what I'm asking, like things to make the system or the process better for everyone involved and safer and things like that?
And so over the years, and this just takes me back to my training. Over the years, there has been several different laws and acts put in place in terms of children and what you should and should not do, especially when it comes to like corporal punishment and like hitting them. You can't punch with your fist. You can't slap. You can't hit with a belt or any type of objects or things like that. So over the years, again, things have been put in place to navigate away from that. And so that's where the training comes in, where we have to teach them how to do something different other than physical punishment. Yeah. Again, with the checks and balances. And I don't know if you heard when I said this, Tiff, but my agency is contracted with DC Child and Family Services. So we're not DC Child and Family Services, but my agency is contracted with them to kind of help with the checks and balances with foster care. And so with my agency, we have our own specific vetting process, and we have our own specific training that we do called Pride training that our foster parents have to do before they are even licensed to be foster parents.
Okay. I did hear part of that. I missed some of it, but I did hear part of that. Thank you for saying that again. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And so with the whole licensing process as well, they have to have a home visit. They have to have a fire marshal come out and check their home to make sure they have exit signs and smoke detectors and everything for their home to be safe.
What are the are there base limits on what's acceptable?
What's up, Shanae?
I know that's, is that a weird question? Like I'm trying to figure out even how to appropriately ask the question. Like, what are some specific dings? Like, if you're walking through a home, like if you can even share that type of information.
Well,
and I don't know if you mentioned it. If you did, I apologize.
Yeah, so that's for that particular person. It would be a home study specialist. Okay. I haven't worked in that capacity, so I'm not sure all the major details of what they need. However, I do know that they have to have like certain signs up to say where the exits are. They have to
Okay,
have the smoke
okay.
detectors. They have to have the smoke detectors. They have to have a plan in place as to what happens if there's a fire.
It's like an
Evacuation.
evacuation plan. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
That's
evacuation
cool.
plan.
Okay, okay.
That's what's up.
Things like
Shoot,
smoke
that, girl,
detectors.
that's safer than most not even
Most
childcare. That's
jobs.
safer than most people's
Shit, it's most
homes.
motherfucking jobs.
Like than most people's
Yeah.
homes. Like that's
Yeah.
safer than
Yeah.
that.
Like
People
we
talk
don't play.
about it, but
We
y'all are making
want
sure that you have to have it.
right. We want our kids to be safe. We want them to
Yeah.
feel loved, and we want them to feel like they are in a place where they can work
Right.
on themselves.
Mhm.
So
Right.
that you can't do that if you're worried about the house falling apart. And you can't do that if you're worried about whether or not my foster parent is going to feed me today. Like
Absolutely.
we have to make sure that our kids are safe.
Do you
first and
do
foremost.
random question, this may not be your area of specialty. Do y'all like even do like home inspect, like I know y'all do home inspections like inside the home, but like will y'all go back and check like okay, the house is up to code and this and that, like the floor is not about to fall through, like is that or is
So-
that too far outside of y'all scope? Just
So
curious.
no. So what happens is, so you have the initial like home visit and things like that. The child is placed in your home, but that child has to get seen in the home at least once a month, sometimes
Oh,
twice a
good.
month.
That's
So
good.
we're on it.
No, yeah,
Again,
no, I love
Like
to hear it.
shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
you hear about the stories, the people, the children that fall through the cracks and things like that. And
Mhm.
obviously, you never want it to happen.
yeah.
But
And like,
I mean,
did anybody see that story on Netflix with the little boy
Gabriel
Gabriel?
Hernandez,
Yes.
tragic,
What's
tragic. I mean,
So-
and that's part of why I'm asking some of the questions
Yeah.
that I asked because I know it. I do
Gabriel.
understand it happens. It's the trial of Gabriel Hernandez.
Gabriel Hernandez.
It's tragic. It's
It's
a
so
tragic
tragic.
story.
Yeah.
It's so tragic.
And it
Fucked
was
up.
and it's like I don't want to say I don't feel like his teacher failed him. I feel like she did the best she could within her
Yeah.
means, and I also feel like the security guard at
Yeah.
CPS or DPS
Yeah.
did the best that he could. You know, I feel like those two did within their means of the law as much as they felt they could. Now, on a human level, sure,
Yeah.
teacher could have took little Gabriel, but now she locked up for kidnapping. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
You know, I didn't understand. And again, working in this field and hearing all the stories that I've heard in my time here, that just watching that was so heart wrenching, and I didn't
Yeah.
understand how all of those people could have failed him.
I cried. Yeah, I
Mhm.
cried.
I cried every
I cried.
single episode. I cried. I literally did.
Especially when
because-
his siblings, when they showed his siblings testifying or the voiceovers of
Yeah.
his siblings, that was the
Yeah.
most gut wrenching thing I've ever heard in my
That's
life.
crazy,
You
man.
know, it was gut wrenching.
Yeah,
I
and
gotta look.
just
I gotta
didn't
look at. I ain't
understand how the
seen all of
social
it.
worker-
It's still on
the
Netflix,
social worker kept coming back.
but it talks about the
And-
system as a whole.
Yeah.
So real quick, let me ask y'all opinion on this then, because from that one, do you feel like everyone that had a part in it felt bad that they couldn't or didn't go
I feel
above
like
and beyond, or they was
the
just
teacher,
like,
I feel like the teacher and the security guard, like they did what they could do. Like it's, and you have to understand that a lot of times people's hands are tied. Like
There,
I
there
have to
because there's a
report-
level between personal security and doing the
Right.
maximum of what's right. And some people, well, maybe it's not that bad, even though it looks like, oh my God, is it really like, is
Yeah.
it to the extreme? Like
they
people
look like
second
it's,
guess themselves
And it-
when
and
something
and
it
it's my
also-
job on the line if I'm right or wrong type.
but not just that, but also too, the teacher said every time she would report it, he would come back worse.
Oh,
And so like it gets to the point where I don't want to say nothing because I don't want to make it worse for him. But something has to be done. Like that was just a heart-wrenching story because I don't understand how the social worker kept going back and just taking mom's word for it at face value.
Mm-hmm.
You could look at that child and see that this child had been severely abused.
Dude, hell yeah,
And
hell yeah.
how could you
But then-
not?
But then it even, I mean, well, remember there were like systemic issues too, and like the budget, and
Yeah.
we can't work overtime, and well, don't go above and beyond,
and
and
don't do this and
you know
don't
what
do
I'm saying?
that.
It's like,
And remember, they had at one point they had all of those kids sleeping in the building in the office,
Mhm.
and so that's a problem too, where homes are needed.
Yeah,
the news.
it's like it's such a big issue. I mean, and obviously this isn't LA. We're not as big as
Yeah, we're not
California or
as big as
anything.
LA,
We're not
right?
by a long shot, but we hear the stories coming out of Baltimore. We hear the stories coming out of DC. We hear them coming out of Raham PG County.
Mhm.
So
And a lot of
it's
the stories
still
that you hear, a lot
something,
of the stories that you hear on the news, um, are children in foster care.
right?
Or children in foster care.
Right.
I can't really go into details with
Right.
those, but a lot of the ones that you hear on the news that are really heart wrenching are children from foster care.
No, that's a
And
good question.
strategies on how to deal with teenage foster kids. Yes. Yes. I take a deep breath because these teenagers are off the chain. This generation is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they got there, but they're different. We do teach strategies on how to deal with teenage foster kids. But a lot of times our teenagers have been in the foster care system since they were little, extremely little. And at the point that they get to about 16, 17, 18 years old, and they've been here since they were 5 or 6, they know the system. They know it. They know it frontwards, backwards, sideways, forwards, all that. They know all of it. And they will finagle their way into whatever it is that they want and get you to do whatever it is that they want to do. And when you think about it, if you get a foster child who is about 17 today, how much are you going to tell them? How much can you really tell them? Especially if they're 17 and they have a child. What I'm going to tell you at this point, you've done it and seen it all at this point. The best thing that I can do for you is support you and give you guidance to wherever your next step is after this. And that looks like a lot like not being controlling, not telling you where you can and can't go. Now we have rules for our home. We might say don't come in here after 10 o'clock, or that's your cutoff time. But keep in communication with me. A lot of times our pregnant teens stay with their boyfriends sometimes. Keep in communication with me where you are at all times. Keep in communication with me, then we're good. And I don't have to worry about where you are, as long as you're safe. And if you need something, you know how to find me. That's basically what we can do with our teens. Because you're not really going to tell a teen who's 17 with a baby what you finna do. Like, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's why they're that super rebellious thing.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times the teens have severe mental health issues, or even just basic mental health issues that they don't take medication for because they're teenage and they feel like they don't have to. People tend to forget that your brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25. But you think you know everything already. And you don't. So, yeah.
I told my 10-year-old daughter, baby, it's going to be interesting watching you grow up because you know it all already.
Already.
And you're so my child. But I never said never. You 10 and you're okay.
Shit gonna get real when it get real.
It's just like okay, because
Okay.
I don't negotiate with terrorists, so okay.
Okay.
We're gonna let this play out for a little
Okay.
while. Okay.
Right.
Just like us talking about we can't wait till we grown.
Okay. Like
Yes.
Like, hold
we
on,
asked
Slim.
for the most ghetto shit in
If
the
I
world.
would have known all this,
It's so ghetto.
I wouldn't have said that.
worse. It's
This is
worse.
ghetto.
Lord have mercy.
Terrible.
Okay.
Terrible.
Well, look, man, we definitely appreciate the conversation.
We
You're
definitely
welcome.
do. Thank
Knowledge,
you.
man. That was much needed. You know what I'm saying? All the information that you gave us, the insight, the stories. We thank you. Keep on doing your job, doing what you do,
You're
and the best,
welcome.
being the best at it. Man, I wish every day I can take back the shit back. I hate it here.
It's ghetto. It's ghetto here. Earth is ghetto.
Someone
And
should
adults
have
are
slapped my lips. Hey, man,
Period.
look, man. These youngins, man, they ain't like Tiffany said. The youngins, they the youngins. But these youngins now, 19, 20, early 20s, they phew, they treacherous.
They be tripping. I don't
They
know.
treacherous. You hear me? They treacherous.
Yeah.
They vicious. Oh Lord have mercy. That shit crazy. But
They don't. A lot of them don't get it. Like even that, I don't even know if y'all seen this today.
but
Um, the Shade Room posted. Shade Room posted it. Some young dude called himself rolling up on DL Hewley.
mm-hmm.
Uh
You
huh.
saw that?
Kanye's
Mhm.
man. Yeah, it's supposed to be
Yeah.
Kanye man. Yeah.
Kanye's
He's
Young,
not,
yeah.
he's not even Kanye's coach.
For real?
Nah,
No,
he a comedian. He's some comedian from LA or some shit.
no,
What's
I
that,
thought he was
man?
an aspiring rapper
Oh, whatever.
or whatever.
Mm-mm.
But he said they rolled up on Kanye, and the video he posted was DL going that way, and he took a picture of him and said King of
He
Comedy who,
he pressed
and
him.
then we rolled up on him, telling him to apologize to Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
And like we talked about it, these little young niggas ain't respecting these OGs and not
They so
knowing,
disrespectful.
I know what the fuck
not
he
knowing.
did. And like I said last week, DL was like, man, I don't mind the riff raff man Kanye going through, but when Kanye was wrong at was you sharing my motherfucker address. You know what I'm saying? And like DL responded to that shit. DL was like, what type of motherfuckers you got following you or even portraying screaming your name? That's motherfucker taping grown ass men in the bathroom. Fuck type shit you on? You know what I'm saying? So
Crazy.
you know, you doing all this clout chasing and all that faking, like you gonna get somebody hurt.
And, and like Candace just said, he a crip. He might not do it himself, but he got his security.
Yeah. Nah, he
Where
ain't
he
no crip
goes
here.
to?
He ain't no crip here blood. He ain't no crip here blood.
I thought he was a crip.
Nah, he blood. Remember I looked up
Oh,
last week.
oh
He
yeah, that's
blood.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, he
I
fucking
didn't even know
blood.
that. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that.
Yeah, blood. Better stop
Mhm.
playing with his ass, man. But that shit, like he was just out eating. You taking the pictures, but then you gonna lie about the shit.
Like, where's the rest of the video? Where are you confronting him? Where is it at that you say something
Right.
to him?
I don't get it,
Have
man.
several seats.
Because you know what? I actually went down that rabbit hole and read the comments, and
One of them
that
bangers.
dude got lit up
The
from
fuck
the
up.
first one I read all the way till I said, okay, it's time for me to stop.
Good.
They
Bitch
thought
ass.
that dude a new one.
That's what the fuck he get. That's what the hell he get.
Mm-hmm.
What did they tip? Tip over there. What
No, I was singing. I said that's what the hell he get.
yeah,
Hey,
that's what the fuck
that's
he
what the hell
get.
he get. Damn, I was just
That's
singing.
that's the hell, yeah, that's definitely what the fuck he get. But man, that was good talk though, Angel. For real. We again we appreciate
Very
it.
informative, very
Yeah, very
insightful,
informative.
great
Um,
information. Thank
Whenever
you
y'all
so
need me,
much.
you know what I'm saying? We humbly
And my
appreciate that.
apologies for being rude, having my camera off some of the way. Like I said, I was listening in the background. I was trying to, so
it's
my
all
It's all
good.
good.
apologies.
It's all good.
But
It's
it was
all
great
good.
information, and I'm so glad you came on. And love to have you on again. You know, at the end of the day, this is
Absolutely.
information that can be shared year round. So we
Mm-hmm.
welcome you to come back for sure.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
City Cat.
And all
Welcome
the
back.
info you gave me, I'm about to be at the TV when they do this stuff now. That's not how it works. Y'all lying. I already know. That's not how it works. You can't even take that kid out that house.
Yeah, like
I be
TV,
emotionally
TV
invested
paints.
in my TV shows.
TV paints is such a different picture. Like it makes you, and again, it is like that in some places. Like how we was talking about the documentary. It is like that in some places, but with us, we don't play that.
Play that shit.
That's good to know. I mean, we're keeping our baby safe around here. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
That's good to know. Like I said, I have my neighbor. She been foster caring for 10 plus years and just adopted her son. And all those kids are still come around. They done had kids and everything. And when you do it correctly, those children are a part of your life.
They're a part of your
You know,
life.
you may foster them, but you adopt them in a sense just without the paperwork if it's done right with your heart. And
Yeah.
the children can tell that as well. And I think that's a big part of, I know someone asked, it may have been Cherie, someone asked about training classes. I can't say anything about that, but I do know that trust is a very big factor with a lot of these children. Trust and security.
Security and patience.
But it can take a lot to earn that trust though.
It takes
Yep.
a lot.
So
A
you gotta
lot
have
of
some
it
real
to earn.
tough skin and some iron balls from my experience.
It does, and a lot of training too, because
And I mean, the training, absolutely.
a
And the
lot of training.
absolutely.
And like I said before, they're required to do 20, and I don't know how it is with other agencies, but with our agency, it's 20 hours of training every year of your licensure year.
Oh, nice.
that
Every
you have
year.
to complete every year of your licensure
Mhm.
year. So every month we come out with a training schedule. And I also mentioned earlier that I created a workshop based off of the nurturing heart approach that helps you transform the intense child. It's a 5-hour training that I created specifically for our foster parents who are dealing with kids and they don't know what to do with them. And also it helps awaken the greatness in children and help them, because a lot of the children have been through issues where they have been put down, misunderstood, things like that. They don't have no feeling of value or worth, and so the nurtured heart approach gives them that value, that worth, that greatness in them that they don't recognize, and the greatness in us that we don't recognize. When we get mad at things and we just say, okay, let me react automatically, what that approach does is brings you back kind of and makes you sit down and think about it a little bit before I just go off on you because you just wrote on my damn wall. Like,
you motherfucker.
That's why I said that's why I said the stuff that y'all do is, I mean, like having the evacuation plan. That's more than people have in their actual homes.
I don't have an evacuation plan.
I ain't got no motherfucker.
I don't have one either.
Hey, you better hit this motherfucker.
We're gonna jump up, girl. We're gonna jump up the balcony. On the second floor. If it's in the
front door is right here.
Front door. Like that's it.
I ain't for the bushes.
Look,
I ain't for the bushes.
Look, Chad, and hope that damn fire hazard of the door doesn't get stuck. Otherwise, we gotta run through the laundry room to the other side. Like that's the plan. So
that's the plan.
And half these homes don't be in ratio, like with real kids. They're not in ratio. Like so y'all are doing the work to make sure that it's more efficient than some people's normal day-to-day lives at the end of the day.
And we definitely appreciate
and a lot of times you'd be surprised, a lot of times we have foster parents that give you pushback on that. Like, why I gotta do this and why I gotta do that? Because you have to.
Fuck you mean? Why? You want them to die?
Because we privilege.
Look, because
I don't get paid for my child. I push her out.
And you know what I say? Me being a smart ass.
I don't get no benefits. I don't get paid.
You want getting paid?
I don't get paid for my
child.
Right then.
Like,
I raised her to be a benefit to society.
Right.
Like,
right.
That's all I got. Like, that's all I got. That is my payment. There, that she's a good human.
That's all.
Like, she's a good human. That's all I got. I'm gonna go into debt with her.
I'm gonna tell that motherfucker foster parent.
Look, humans here for you. That's all I got.
That's all I got. I'm gonna go to debt. Like, I love
motherfucker foster parent. Why you gotta do that? Fuck you mean? Why you gotta do that, nigga? You trying to fuck that money up for yourself?
They complain about taking them to doctor's appointments. Okay, but if this was your child, you would be taking them to a doctor's appointment.
Then again,
you calling up somebody asking them, huh?
Who do they expect to take them?
So I was saying how my position before this was a family support worker. Family support workers transport to therapy appointments, monitor visits, and things like that. But it's not a whole lot of us. It's not. I think at the time I was a family support worker, there was only about 5 or 6 of us.
I can imagine.
And there are hundreds of kids. So the math ain't math.
That's a lot.
The math ain't math.
Hey, man, ladies and gentlemen, y'all looking to be foster parents, man. You know,
it's still a reward. It's still a very rewarding thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Somebody these kids need homes, man.
Like I said, for foster kids, it's still rewarding when they can open up and trust you. But it can be very tough. But it's rewarding though at the same token.
Yeah. And then just to be able to make a difference.
In
a child's life, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's the big picture. You know what I'm saying? Making a difference in their life. You know, because at the end of the day, if like Tiffany said, if it's done right, it's gonna be a difference in both people like in both parties like.
Yeah, absolutely.
You feel me? Because you got to think of it on the adult side too, because evidently, probably so, chances are the couple couldn't have had no enough for kids, and even if they did have kids, they still wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
like we all agree on, do better for another
Yeah.
kid. But in a lot of these cases, some of these parents they can't have kids, so that's like trauma off their shoulders from not being able to have it to be able to at least enjoy that experience of being a foster parent.
Yeah.
You know,
Or they were former foster children themselves, and
yeah.
they know what it's like,
Mhm.
and
Mm-hmm.
they just want to give back.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Mm-hmm.
foster parent on my caseload right now that's like that, and she's been a foster parent for probably like 20 years,
Mm.
and they do a lot with the youth that go in and out of their home. They have
Mm.
one. She's no longer with them, but she comes back and she spends weekends with them in the mountains, like with her kid. So yeah, it's very rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is out time, man. Shit, we ran over, and hey, look, we got like 4
We still
side
coming back
topics.
next week. We still coming back next
Yep.
week. This has
Yep.
just been enlightening. It's been perfect. And next week, last Tuesdays is going to be extra. But this
Yep.
has been a.
This
I mean, this has
definitely
been a
been
great show.
yes, yes, yes,
It's
yes,
been
yes.
all around a great show. So thank you if you were in
Yes,
here.
we
I
definitely
really
thank
have.
you again and again and again. You more than
If y'all
welcome to
need
come
me,
back.
multifaceted, holla at me.
Absolutely,
What you got going on, girl?
I mean, I do
absolutely.
stuff here and there, you know what I'm saying? A little
Do a
sauce.
little, okay. Love my sis.
That's what's
Thank
up,
you for
man.
having me, y'all.
Man,
Thank
we
you
look.
so much.
We thank you for having
We
us, man.
we really appreciate you.
I
Chad, you
actually
on mute? What'd you say?
thank you, Ray, for talking me into it.
Thank you for coming through.
No problem. Not a problem. Not a
Were you
problem. Not a problem.
nervous?
I was, yeah.
It's
I
all
know
How'd
good,
you
you
man.
were.
feel? How'd you feel?
I do trainings a lot, and I again with that workshop I said, and every time right before I'm just like, Lord,
It's taken me look, it's taken me a good 3.5 years to stop that feeling.
yeah,
It's taken a long time.
You know what? In real life, though, out of after 15 years, I still get nervous until I crack the mic.
Look, come Sunday, I'm gonna be a little like let me make sure my hair done.
You
Let me
did
all
do a
right.
good job. You definitely did. You
Oh,
did a good
okay.
job.
Like, so I feel you, girl. I feel you.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Like
I tell
Cherie
Chad
said,
all the
you did a
time.
great job though.
Yeah, you did. I
thank
tell Chad
you.
all the time. What I say, Chad, man? Why the fuck I want up here nervous? Chad be like, I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
that's
I
part
don't,
of the gig.
and I talk shit all day, so I don't even know why I be nervous.
I think it's the process.
It's because
You
it's
know, you
all
know what
eyes
it
on
is.
you. It's all
All
eyes
eyes
on
on
you.
it was
Oh,
all
that was
eyes on
definitely
you,
look,
and
Denise.
then you was
Look,
being
she
interviewed.
left without even getting on for real. For real, she was definitely feeling that way. I told her to get on, but she was feeling the same.
Who?
Denise, because she was in the background walking around. She was listening and
Uh,
peeking in, and she was like a
mhm.
little nervous to just say, "Hey."
Nah, but that's the one thing we try to tell, exercise with people. You know what I'm saying? Just come on and just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
Just be
love y'all
yourself.
for it when y'all do.
Yeah, that's one thing motherfuckers don't do nowadays.
True.
Just be them motherfuckers. Say, oh, somebody shooting. Dang, I just heard a shot.
See,
Damn, two.
Fox
Bam.
5 in a
Shit, I'm
couple
talking about
minutes.
4 shots. Anywho, um, yeah, man, tell people to be themselves, man. But like Tiffany said, this was definitely informative
Hell
conversation,
yeah.
and we needed it, man. Because like you had said when I first asked you about it, you was like another shot, Lord. Um, you was like your
And nigga,
agency
you
is looking
better
for
duck.
people for what?
Yeah, I don't
They
want to
over
be
there.
in your neighborhood.
you get away from the windows.
I ain't by no window. So
Okay.
yeah. What you was saying, when I had asked you about it, you was like, more homes
Man,
needed,
that
more
shit
people need to be
fancy.
doing it.
Hmm.
So that's definitely a thank you, a big thank you, much
You're welcome.
love, you know,
And
you
again,
know,
if anybody needs any information, just inbox me. reach out to me.
Yeah, and we'll be sure to repost your info tomorrow when we share the show. We'll drop it in the comments and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna. It's important. It's important to our community too. It's too many babies out there. It's important to our community.
Yeah, these kids need homes, man. They need
love in
stable
homes.
homes, love homes, genuine homes.
Yes.
Not no
Genuine
fucked up ass home just for check.
That's right.
Right.
Nah, man. Nah, man.
Right.
That's what I was like. That's how I asked earlier.
Especially our teens, because a lot of people don't feel like they don't want to deal with them because they're older and
Tanisha, what's up, Tanisha?
Because, like I said, what are you going to do with a teenager that's already been through the system?
Right.
You know, it's. I hate that. I just hate feeling like whatever, whether it's a woman or a man or a child, that just because you're quote unquote damaged that you deserve to be thrown away or not as valued or as cared for. It's almost the opposite. Well, I mean, it is the opposite. Like, you're that much more precious because, it's really unfortunate that we can be that as a society at times, to not want to deal with it.
Yeah, it's like, what happened to the village? What happened to the village? It takes a village.
What happened to yes, that's it.
What happened to
the village? That's how I think that's ultimately how I feel. What happened to the village?
What happened to the
village?
How
do we get so far removed from not being our brother or sister's keeper,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So again, thank you for your service to our community.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Keep doing the good thing. Keep doing the good deed. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. Well, Chad, we got 5 minutes.
Okay, well, real quick. Let's get back. Oh, let me unmute myself.
Go ahead, unmute yourself. Angel, I'm gonna put you on mute.
Okay.
So real quick, once again this Sunday, fellas, ladies, tell your men they need to be infused for the first ever brunch. Brunch. It's going down. Like I said, it's a good place for us fellas to network, have a good time, fellowship, drink, fall on concrete, and call our women at 2:30 asking if they up. So women, y'all can take us later or pull up at the hideout around 3:30
in the afternoon.
But for real, it's a good event. We get a lot of stuff off our chest, stuff that we don't get to talk about, things we get to vent about. Eat good, drink good, and if my cigar connect come through, we're gonna have cigars, we're gonna get outside, smoke our cigars, and it's moderated by the beautiful, right on top of me, pause, Tiff Nicole. And this is definitely a check-in event. Also, whoa, almost forgot to add, fellas, if you're pulling up, I'm gonna make this post. I'm gonna put in the Eventbrite. I'm gonna put it on Facebook in a little bit. If you feel like you're gonna get fried and you don't want to drive, our new sponsor and our guest next week for tomorrow's show, Fair Rider, better than Lyft, better than Uber, better than Empower. And by y'all being listeners of the check-in, we have our own code that gives you an additional 5% discount.
What's that code?
Just check in 719. Download the Fair Rider app, Fareryder. Fair Rider. We're gonna post it. It's about to be everywhere.
F-A what?
Fareryder. I had interviewed the owner like right before COVID when he was just getting ready to start this thing, and it just so happened his app went live a couple days ago. So I said, let me try it today.
Is it fairrider.com?
No, just Fair Rider. That's the app.
Just download
the app.
Okay.
Just so happened he was my driver today, and we reconnected. Talk. He said, "Okay, bet for your brunch. This is your code. Everybody that you give it to, tell them use this code." That's us. The check-in gives you a new code. Fair Rider is the thing. Like, dog, if you luck out, the original plan was to have for the company was you were basically being picked up in Tesla. But he got deployed and Corona happened, blah blah blah. So you don't get the whole fleet of Tesla. So you might get other people in other people's car in their own cars and stuff like that. But my man's picked me up in the Tesla, nice smooth ride, cheap, very affordable. And plus now you use it and you get our discount. Check in 719. Download the app right to now.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? We like weekly check-in. We got our own.
Right,
we got our own. We got our own
shit.
code, y'all.
We got our
We got
own
our own
business
code,
code.
y'all. Okay.
I'm downloading
Alright.
this joint right
Use
now.
that.
We
Like,
not
you know what I'm
even.
saying?
Look. It's
You know what
not
I'm
even.
saying?
It's
We
not
gotta
even
get them. We gotta get them reviews up though. We gotta get them
It's just
reviews up.
us.
We a company.
It's just us.
So get that joint. So whenever you feel the need to use Uber
I'm
or Lyft,
downloading it right now.
you can schedule your pickup. Like if you know you get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and you need to leave out the door by 12,
You know you going
can
over Sneaky
book it.
Link house.
and you
know
go on your
going over
sticky link, you can set that up.
And you gotta leave about 3:30
But
in the
because
morning.
they be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They be
Well,
there.
and so what the real sell is, I mean, I don't know how much are you allowed to go to. Not even
Everything
too deep. Not even too deep. The real sell is the rate is per minute driving time,
Yeah.
which sounds very taxi cabish.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the future may hold. But for now, I know when I did the math, was about 50% off
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
of Uber and Lyft. Going like from
Open
my
this app
place
up.
to
See
my
what
mom's
it's
place.
Yeah.
Tripping.
It's definitely 50% because
like Big Feet.
It was like less than $5 when it's normally between
Uber's like 12,
8 and 9.
8, 9, 10, 12, depending on when you book it. But yeah, it can go from
Right.
8 to 12 just to go to Infuse from here.
Yeah.
It was $5.30. And they're good people. But they'll be here next week. They give you all the details.
Oh, they will?
Yeah.
Okay.
But download the app right now. Fair Rider. For all of y'all that do ride shares and stuff like that, gotta ride through the city, don't want to pay for parking.
Don't want to pay for gas.
Don't want to pay for gas. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, I don't want to pay for gas, but y'all trying to get that ass. Call
And just
Fair
remember,
Rider.
your code, check in 719 all the time. 5% off every time. Not just for your first ride, but for every ride.
That's been a motherfucker. That's been a commercial, right? That's a good commercial, chat.
You know, I gotta go re-record it. But yeah, we on it. I gotta stand up. We gotta stand up on the Tesla. All three of us.
Bullshit.
Check in.
So you
719.
said the cat that you got to ride with, he owns it.
Yeah. I interviewed him.
Okay.
Literally right before COVID. But
Right.
then when COVID happened, he got
Right.
deployed. So he had to shut the app down. And he was just back on it. Because it was like, I say maybe a week ago, the app just went live again and started giving all these notifications. I was like, what the fuck?
Okay. Cool.
And if you use Uber or Lyft, they do a price beat. Not a price match, a price beat. So you pull up, you show them how much it costs from Uber, how much it costs from Lyft, and they beat it.
They're gonna match it and beat it. Man, look, yeah, we gotta get Cuz in the show. What's his name?
Black on.
What's the brother name?
Give me 1 second.
That's what's up.
The company name?
The
company name is
Fair
Fair
Rider.
Rider.
Okay, fair. I would say, yeah.
Yeah, it's the logo like a little leaf, Tiff.
Yeah,
And it's what? Check in 719 or what's our code? Check in 719.
Check in 719. We got our own motherfucking key.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. We got our own code and everything, bro. Use the code, get you a discount, get this joint popping.
The owner's name is Alan Graham. He'll be here
I'm gonna look him
next
up on
week.
Instagram.
He'll
I'm
be
gonna
on
look him
all
up on
the
Instagram.
yeah. Fair Rider is on. He said it's on all the social medias. Fair Rider, everything, and the app is good. It's really good. Like even if you needed to go to the airport, you can put in which flight you coming in on, where you landing at, who you taking. But we're gonna leave it at that because it's time to wrap this thing up.
Wrap it up like you're supposed to.
Hey. Ugh. So now I'm in my feel good shimmy shimmy.
I'm about to say you sounding old over there. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, you heard the crack?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, the crack wasn't part of that.
I don't know, bro. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, of course, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to be right here with us at the check-in, your favorite Tuesday night delight. And of course, I am one of your hosts. I go by the name of Hollywood, and right there above me is the walking thirst trap, Tiff Nicole, and that away it is our man Ray Boone, and that away we have our guest Angel. Thank you for coming in once again. And we like to thank all of our listeners and viewers for tuning in and rocking out with us as always. Much love. You are always appreciated. And our woman of the week, Miss Candace. Thank you for being awesome. Fellas, can't wait to see y'all Sunday at brunch. And then everybody else, we will see y'all Tuesday. And as always, we don't want to leave, but we gotta go right now. And we're out.